This is the Say It Can't Gamer, and you are live with the MMA-Holes!
Mixed Martial A-Holes! MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes. You like to be a mixed martial A-hole. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes.
No way.
From the Queen Studios of New York, the Bees, Dustin, full asleep at their own press conference. UFC 238 Aftermath, Bellator 222 Fight Week, MMA News with the MMA-Holes. Yeah! Wonderful, wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm wonderful, wonderful. How are you, Jesse?
I'm always wonderful, wonderful. Thanks for asking, Mystic Moss.
You're welcome. All right, we are a minute early tonight on the MMA Holes. Always keeping the peoples on their toes. The Stanley Cup Playoffs, Finals are on right now. Game 7, Boston versus St. Louis. This is an MMA show, but we have it on over here, and man, I am glued to this. I don't know how many hockey fans are out there, but fuck you. Every once in a while, I might just randomly scream for no reason. The Blues are up 2-0. Jesse, you're not a huge hockey person, but watching this, what do you think?
I was saying it before the show. It's easy to become a hockey fan watching something like this. Like, they just scored a goal, and my jaw actually dropped. And I never thought that would happen to me watching hockee. But I said it's almost as exciting as watching MMA.
It is exciting. If you're not an NHL fan. If you're new to that sport, I just advise you while you're watching this program, of course, put it on in the background and watch for yourself. I guarantee you'll be hooked. 2-0 Blues, and the Blues never won a Stanley Cup. The Stanley Cup is like one of the best trophies in any sport. It has so much history. Just watch that, and we'll be screaming in the background. By the way, Jesse, did you know that Khabib fell asleep during his own press conference? And not only did he do it, but so did Poirier. 500 tacos on Blues. Yeah, there you go.
Mixed martial assholes, 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 mixed martial assholes.com. Go visit the website.
That's right.
DB Cooper's last calls were epic.
There you
Moss
go.
facial expressions, lol.
There you go. Thank you. 500 tacos on Blues, and you are up 2-0 right now. So good luck to you. Good bet, the Blues. And what a game going on right now. All right, so like I said in the beginning of the stream, we will be dabbling into that a little bit as the game progresses. I mean, it's Game 7 of the Stanley Cup. Fuck it. We're watching that shit too. There it is, Jesse. This is an actual picture from the press conference. Khabib and Dustin Poirier. Yeah. This press conference was early today here on the East Coast in Nuevo York. It was in London, right? A couple of things, actually a lot of things I'd like to talk about this press conference. One, it was shite. Okay, that's number one.
I have my theories as to why.
Well, I mean, it was shite. Let's be honest.
Yes.
Okay. There were a couple of flashes, and I favor in Khabib's side. I thought he said two things that made me laugh. One was towards Henry Cejudo. He kind of slipped it in, a little jab at Henry, and then the Conor McGregor begging for his life or something like that. That was good too by Khabib. But other than that, he looked like he wanted to just completely fall asleep. He was either jet lagged or I don't know why it was in the UK.
He seemed like bothered almost, like more than just tired. He actually seemed like genuinely bothered.
Yeah, he didn't want to be there. He didn't want no tea and crumpets.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Or
yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, he didn't want any of that.
Wonderful.
He just wasn't feeling it. You know, he made people repeat the questions because I guess he couldn't understand the accent. I have no idea. Yeah. I mean, I thought the questions were pretty legible. I mean, not legible. You could make them out. And, he made him repeat the questions. And I think he was just half asleep. Dustin Poirier has the personality of a peanut head, if you know what I'm saying, right, Connor? But The fight itself, I am not going to knock. The fight is going to be fun to watch. I am favoring one side heavily in this fight, but it is going to be fun. I think the story of the fight's going to be fun. The lead up is going to be complete ass. Abu Dhabi, I mean, you're going to have this hostile favoring crowd for a guy that's 27-0. He already beat two of the guys that knocked Dustin out in like seconds. You know, and he brought that up at the press conference, which made sense. So there was no juice. You know, there was nothing in this to make us get excited. And then on top of all that, they didn't even tell us that it was happening. Did you know that this press conference is going on today?
I did, only because last night I was going through our YouTube subscriptions and I saw that it was scheduled yesterday. That's the only reason I knew. I didn't, and you would think for someone who goes through the MMA news every day that I would know, but I didn't see anything on it. But, I mean, they did schedule it in advance, so if you're subscribed to the UFC, then you would have received some kind of notification that it was going live.
I mean, I had no idea. I had no clue. No clue. I mean, if you don't have any alerts on for the UFC or ESPN app or any of that stuff, you have no clue that this was going on. And it was at a bizarre time for us. And then on the West Coast, it had to be, 7 in the morning or some shit?
Because I think it started at 10. So
yeah, so let me know in the chat, okay, if you even knew about this, if you saw this, and what did you think? I thought it was a terrible, let's listen to this donation.
You can't stop the Siberian Express. Choo-choo, motherfuckers.
Kevin from Chicago.
There's a reason Petr Yan was on the PPV and Olio was on the prelims. UFC knows Olio is a boring point fighter and Yan is action-packed killer. Don't act surprised when the Siberian gangster gets the next title shot.
There we go. There's Kevin from Chicago. And I completely disagree. They had Aljamain on the prelims to sell the pay-per-views because he was such a big name. They wanted to sell some pay-per-views, so they put the big cheese up on that card. That's what I'm going to go with. Trevor Poole, yes, we do have your letters. We have actually 3 letters over here, Jesse Show, and we're going to be showing that in a second.
Wait, I don't want to show their...
You can show the back of them. So what we said to the peoples is send us a donation. And here we go.
You
Let's
can't
see.
stop the Siberian Express. Choo-choo, motherfuckers.
And it's Jessica G coming in.
I'm so glad you guys showed up today. With all of the news about YouTube silencing people with different opinions, you guys stuck it out. You could have easily ran away, but that isn't you. You guys are no pussies like that cowboy Cerrone fella.
Wonderful.
That's right. We will touch on that as well. We put a video on our community section over there, and it's something to watch. It's real. It is real what they're doing. Our videos are getting demonetized once fucking again. It's driving me nuts. It really is.
Today we got demonetized before we even scheduled a stream.
Yeah, it's so stupid. But we'll talk about that later if you guys want to chat about that. Feel free to donate so we can stay here. But this press conference, not only did they market it wrong, they put it in a weird place, and they put it at a weird time. It didn't make any sense. Wouldn't you put this during a fight week? It doesn't make any sense.
You can't stop the Siberian Express. Choo-choo, motherfuckers.
We got real jumping in.
Did you hear that sheep fucker Khabib say he wants no part of 170?
Yes.
So let me get this straight. Khabib refuses to go to 170, but he insists on fighting GSP. What the fuck is wrong with that Muslim rat? He only wants a shrinking weak GSP.
You know what?
Hashtag sheepsis.
He Real actually makes a decent point there, right? He makes a decent point.
I don't think that GSP would be weak going down, though.
That's exactly what Khabib is doing. He even said, they asked about Usman, and he's like, I don't want to fight guys that big. That's what he was saying.
Yeah, he doesn't want to go up to 170.
So he wants to fight a depleted GSP at 155, 160, 165, somewhere around there. Come on, man. Now, that throws him into the argument of if he doesn't go a different weight class. I don't believe in that because Mighty Mouse was the shit to me. So that doesn't hurt his legacy. But if Khabib doesn't go to another weight class, does that make put him in Mighty Mouse? Mighty Mouse's, where he stands? I mean, he is undefeated, which is different. But he never went up.
Super chat.
Brett Baratheon.
Don't let the SJW liberals stop you. We need you both.
Yeah!
Wonderful.
That's right. Oh, God. That SJW bullshit or any of that political garbage, that Google and YouTube, the agenda that they have is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And we go pretty far here. We have some fun on this show, but it's it's all in good fun. We play both sides. But if you're heavy on one side or if you have a certain opinion, well, they don't like that. And YouTube channels are getting shut down, not just demonetized, but shut down. We'll get to that later. All right, so what do you think about that, Jesse? Khabib doesn't want any part of any other weight class but 155.
I don't blame him. The guy's undefeated. He's got a great career. Like, I have no complaints about Khabib. He just got off of a long layoff because of a suspension. Listen, let him do what the fuck he wants. Who cares? Like, GSP's probably not going to come back to fight him anyways.
You can't stop the Siberian Express.
I don't know.
Choo-choo,
Well, yeah, 155. But Jessica G.
Follow One Southern Born One on Instagram. He's exposing cheaters like Marty EPO. I agree. Khabib is scared of the 170 division. Too many boogeymen there. Similar to how Cowboy Cerrone was scared of a third round with Tony Ferguson.
There you go. So there's Jessica G chiming in. And I'm not sure if that was really her, but thank you for the donation. It's interesting. A lot of people were lighting up Mighty Mouse for not switching weight classes. And maybe they'll do the same to John Jones if he never goes up to heavyweight. I think Bones will eventually go up to heavyweight. I really do. I feel like the tail end of his career he will.
He's scarred.
Well, right now he is. But why would he move up? It doesn't make sense. Khabib is 27-0, right? If he defends the belt a couple of times over here, why not go for it? Why not go up there and just do a Henry Cejudo? Henry Cejudo just pulled it off, although he did fight for a vacated belt. With that being said, it doesn't solidify a legacy. Conor went up and won a belt, and maybe he got lucky, in the selection, the process that he fell into. But still, regardless, he has 2 belts. Daniel Cormier, he's got 2 belts. A lot of fighters have 2 belts now, so it's not like I don't think it's a big deal anymore. A lot of people are doing it. I think the 27-0, 28-0, 29-0, I think that speaks for itself. You don't? All right, sounds like you flip-flopped. Let's see what Prospector Rob says.
Cowboys never scared.
All right, saying Cowboys never scared. I'm with you. I mean, the thing that Cowboy was scared of the third round, it still baffles my mind, but that's why we're here, to spread the opinion. Is the air conditioner on?
I don't know.
It feels like it's off. I'm going to check, but let them know. So this whole thing and thank you for the donations, guys. I appreciate it. Let them know what you think about this whole situation with Khabib.
I already said, just go to your air conditioner thing.
All right, talk to the chat.
I already stated my case. It would always be nice for Khabib to go up to 170, but I genuinely don't think that GSP is even coming back to fight Khabib. Honestly, I know that they're saying, given the right money or given the right circumstances or this and that GSP might come back, but I think it's all a load of bullshit. I think it's just to kind of keep you guys hoping as MMA fans that fight might actually happen, and it won't. It won't happen. GSP's not going to come out of retirement to fight Khabib, and if he does, it's certainly not going to be at 170. Khabib's not going to, 155, and Khabib's not going to go up to 170 to fight GSP. So that fight's non-existent. It's not going to happen. So I think we should just give up those hopes on Khabib and GSP. Let Khabib do whatever the fuck he wants. He's, like I said, he's got a great career behind him. He's fought some tough opponents, and I don't know. I think it's a waste of time to be focusing on that kind of shit.
If you just jumping in, this press conference was today. You didn't miss anything. We're going to talk about the highlights of the press conference, and there's 2 for me.
Super chat.
Brett Baratheon with the 499.
They are after all of us nerds, YFK fans, common sense, it's garbage. They want Brie Larson to be president. These frackin' PPL are insane. MMA-Hole for life.
There you go. Wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful.
Got Brie Larson for president. That's when I off myself. Could you imagine Brie Larson for president? I couldn't. I can tell you that much. The fuck? That's the first I've heard of that.
All right.
Thank you for the donations. Yeah, if you don't know, YouTube is falling apart. So I think it's kind of a cop out. As we have. This is from Moss is the Mac. I like this one.
Cowboy is stupid. 2 fights in 35 days. Still chewing tobacco and drinking at 36 years. Life caught up to him. That super daddy shit is old now.
Well, it's gone, yeah. You can't talk about the undefeated Pop. It's true. Thank you. So let's talk about this. And I think this is going to open up a can of worms, and that's what I like to do over here. Khabib is constantly going with his GSP thing, right? He loves his GSP thing. He even put it in his contract. Wow, donations on fire. This is real.
Proof that Khabib is a bum. Imagine Tony Ferg going to 170 and fighting Usman, Colby, Askren. Then imagine Khabib at 170 fighting those same three. Tony is way more dangerous to those three than the sheep fucker. Khabib not good at all. Bum muzzy.
Wow, those are harsh words. What do you think? He's making a good point. And this is what I was going to say beforehand. Khabib is calling GSP to come out of retirement, begging him.
Super chat.
Man, these super chats are cray PBR.
Hello to all the wonderful, wonderful people.
Wonderful.
I love it. I love the fact that you guys are making that MMA whore speak and work hard for her money. It's wonderful.
Wonderful.
So I'm going to try it again. GSP out of retirement, right? That's what Khabib wants. That's what he wanted at MSG. But it has to be on his terms. It has to be at 165 or even at 155, 160. That's where Khabib wants it, not 170, right? Don't you feel that's kind of a cop-out?
Why?
GSP's last fight was at 185. Now, majority of his career was at 170, but he fought at 185 in his last fight. And now he wants to go down 155? I don't get it. Jessica G.
If you had Khabib, Cerrone, and YouTube on one side, the 170 division, different opinions, and Tony Ferguson on the other with $1 million in the middle, who would get the money first? Tony, 170, and opinions, because the other three would run away.
I want Tony to go up. I do. That would be great. He's made mentions of going up to 170. I would love to see that. That's the only criticism I have about Khabib, though.
I don't like what you said about the whole cop-out thing.
It is.
Because right before GSP retired, he was at 155. He was posting pictures on Instagram.
He tried to go for it.
He was at 155.
No, he never hit.
He was there. Yes, he did.
Nope.
Yes.
He never.
Someone please look for those Instagram posts.
So he hit like 160. He was at like, I remember very clearly. He hit like 160 and he never hit that 155. And it's another reason why he pulled out of that whole situation. I'm telling you, it was like 160, 165. That's where he was. And he looked like he was going to die. And that's why he never jumped into that whole thing. He really did it to fight Conor. That's what he wanted to do at the time. But yeah, that's not happening. So this press conference goes down, right? It was this morning early. It was at a bizarre time for us. And I feel like it wasn't even hyped. It didn't get me excited about this card. I was excited regardless, so I don't need this press conference. But I feel like it just lost me. It completely lost me. I don't want to root for either of these guys now. Like, I don't care. Khabib, I get an edge. It gives me the edge. Like, he's the one I go towards because I just think at least he's a little bit more riveting to watch, with his one-liners here and there. But he looked like he was completely bored out of his mind. Dustin Poirier, he's just not meant for press conferences. He's meant to fight. That's it. Put a microphone in front of him, and it's brutal. Even the interview with Brendan Schaub. Did you guys see him at the food truck? Any info?
I'm looking right now.
Yeah, don't even bother. It was once. All right, good. You can keep looking. At the food truck with Poirier. You saw that, right? Poirier and Brendan Schaub at the food truck. Did you see that?
No.
Or did I watch that when you were sleeping?
Well, thanks.
Well, you sleep a lot.
No,
so I watched that.
What do you mean? I sleep the same amount that you do.
You fell asleep while I was watching it, correct?
At night. If you watched it at night when we were supposed to be going to bed, then probably.
Yeah. So I watched it while you were sleeping. And you had every reason to sleep because Poirier is boring. All right, let's see what the chat has to say. Let's see what the people have to say about the press conference that happened today.
Kevin from Chicago says, who gives a shit? The fight will be good. That's all that matters.
I don't think it will. Do you think it will, Jess?
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
I'm excited because of that chance. Everyone has a chance. But the cards are stacked so heavily against Poirier in this fight. The only thing I'm thinking is Khabib is going to go in there, right? And he's going to play with his food. He's not going in there. He likes Poirier. He liked Ally Quinta. I feel Khabib is going to go in there. He's going to try to wrestle. If that doesn't work, he's going to fuck around with him. Got Vlad coming in.
While Colby got slides over getting the title shot, why didn't he move up and fight at 185? He's scared of Yoel, Costa, Israel. See how you can make that stupid argument for every fighter?
You could. But that is a 15-pound difference. There's 5 extra pounds. So you can go with that.
Look at his cut to 155.
Yeah, he wasn't 155 there. Someone put that there. No, he wasn't. I'm telling you. Yeah, it's just in that meme. It wasn't 155. I remember you read the article, and it was 160. And I was like, wow, I couldn't even get there. I remember. Like, clear as day. Seriously, I'm not making it up.
Yeah.
But we'll find the article. So get back to work. You put a meme up where it says the number 155. It's like someone just put a meme together. I'm telling you. I shit you not. I swear. Give me a stack of Bibles. I'll swear on the abortion book in the back. I'm telling you. I know. I have stupid memory when it comes to things like that. Anyway, Colby, what about what Vlad said? If Colby went up, Colby waiting for the belt, instead of waiting for the belt, he should have went up to 185. I think that's a little bit more of a jump, no? I mean, I know it's only 5 pounds, but it's a big difference.
What do I think about that?
Yeah. You weren't paying attention.
No, because I was too busy looking for speaking.
I'm going to say it again. Vlad donated. He just donated and said, what about Colby Covington when he was waiting for the belt, right?
Okay.
He should have went up to 185 to fight.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
But he didn't.
No. All right, forget it. You're missing the whole point, is what I'm saying. People are saying
right.
Khabib should go up, right, and fight. Why not Colby Covington?
Fine. Okay, so why not? Who cares?
They donated it. That's what I'm saying. I'm getting your opinion.
Okay.
Jesse doesn't give a fuck about that donation. All right, here we go. Super chat. Brett Baratheon coming in.
Hope you are well, Michael Anzalone. Just sorry, wrong.
Is Michael Anzalone okay? Let me know. I don't know.
Wonderful.
All right. Vlad makes a good point. 155, 170 is the same. 15 pounds. Good point. I didn't even think of that. Wonderful. Wait, hold on a second, though. If you look at the guys at 155 to 170, right? You look at that jump, and they are bigger. They are significantly bigger. And then you look at 170 to 185, right? You look at that jump to middleweight. Don't you think that you got more gorilla juice heads at 185 than you do at 170? Isn't it a little bit... I mean, if you're looking at the top guys over there, it's a little different. Besides the style benders and Whitakers, you know, the exceptions, and the Kelvin. You still have those fucking big, giant Neanderthals over there. So I don't know. And then you have Chris Weidman saying that he's going to beat John Jones at fucking light heavyweight, which... What do you think about that? I mean, wouldn't this be something, right? Chris Weidman takes all these L's, right? He beat Anderson Silva. He beat arguably the greatest, right? Anderson, the Spider Silva. He dethroned him and then beat him again. And he takes these L's, he's down and out, and somehow he claws his way to John Jones and then beats John Jones. Could you fucking imagine?
No.
But imagine, just let that sink in for a second.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine it. I don't need to let it sink in.
A lot of people didn't think he was going to beat Anderson Silva. And Anderson Silva was unbeatable. Unbeatable. Like, Anderson Silva was here, and the rest of the division was way down here. You don't see it? You don't think it's impossible? What about Amanda Nunes beating Ronda Rousey and Chris Cyborg?
What about it?
What about that?
It already happened, though. So.
That's what I'm saying. She was a legend killer. You know, what if Chris Weidman, who won a belt against a legend, goes up and beats the picogram? I mean, I don't see it either, but it would be fascinating. You don't think that'd be some crazy story?
Yeah, it would be a
Fairy
crazy
tale
story,
ending?
but it's not going to happen.
No? All right. Jeez. Fucking A.
What are you cheesing?
No, I'm just saying. Jeez. I can't cheese?
No.
All right. Let's see what the chat says.
Vlad retracted his message. John Sanders is laughing. Sean Hart with a smiley face. Internal says the spider. Jessica G says JBH is the biggest Khabib dick rider in the world.
She loves him.
You know it. Summer Vibe says cheers to whoever getting toasty tonight. Brett Baratheon says Jessica G. Amen to that. See, but here's the difference. I own up to it. I'm not afraid to say that I am a Khabib dick rider. And if I ever genuinely thought that someone was going to beat Khabib, I will speak up about it. And I've said in the past that Dustin Poirier could have that potential chance, but I don't think it's a big enough chance. And I do think Khabib is going to win. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being a dick rider for your favorite fighter if you genuinely believe in them. And I do.
Well, Jessica G did have Tony Ferguson's penis firmly up her twat the other night, right? So I mean, everyone likes to ride that cock a little bit. It is what it is, you know. That's the sport of MMA. But who do you think is the kryptonite to Khabib? Like looking at 155. Khabib? Who do you think? There's got to be someone in there. Like how you say, oh my God, John Jones is the best. But you know what? Johnny Walker could be that guy.
That's what I was just going to say, Johnny Walker for Jones, but then you said Khabib.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Is it Gregor Gillespie? Gregor the Gift? Gregor the Gift Gillespie?
Imagine it's someone like Justin Gaethje.
There you go. Kevin just jumped in with the Gregor. Is it the Gift? Could you imagine?
Imagine it's someone like Gaethje, who's so confident to get in that cage with Khabib, but never given the chance.
If Gaethje, here's the thing. Dustin Poirier, you're a very likable guy. You've had a good run. You won your interim strap. I don't want you to be my champion. I can't. After watching the press conference today, I don't want any part of Dustin Poirier as the 155-pound champion, or I will fall asleep.
I think Gaethje would be a good champ.
Gaethje would be fantastic. I'm all over that autism. I'm all there. Put Gaethje in there and just fucking barn burner after barn burner. But Poirier, he puts on some good fights, so in the cage he's entertaining. But goddamn, the lead up is I want to pull my fucking toenails out.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it with this. All right, let's get right into the news, Jesse. Let's start it up.
Okay.
Still 2-0 Boston. St. Louis over Boston. Check out the MMA-Holes.com where we get our stories. It is
Wonderful.
all right. Vlad is hard, man. He's saying Poirier for the win. He's been saying that for a bit. So Vlad thinks Poirier for the win. And I tell you what, that'd be something else. In Abu Dhabi, man, oh man. If Poirier wins in Abu Dhabi, I will shit on camera on a paper plate and eat it. I will eat my own shit.
Don't say shit like that.
I will eat my own feces if that happens. I would literally shit on a plate. I'll have Jesse hold a plate.
I'm not holding anything.
I would actually have Jesse hold a paper plate, but one plate, and take a steamy shit. So the steam of the shit, you could feel it in your hand. And then I would ask you to bring me a fork and knife, and I will carve that piece of shit up and eat it on air. No, it's not happening. It's not happening. Right. I can't. MMA math all day for that.
All right. According to the Bleacher Report, Khabib says Conor McGregor begged him not to kill him, so he doesn't deserve a rematch. UFC lightweight champ Khabib Nurmagomedov has said Conor McGregor begged for his life during the showdown between the pair at UFC 229. McGregor was beaten in the fourth round by Khabib in October, with the latter dominating the contest for long spells before forcing his opponent to submit. Speaking at a press conference on Wednesday in London, Nurmagomedov said McGregor asked for mercy when the two shared the octagon, and he shut down any talk of a possible rematch between the duo, per Greg Rosenstein of ESPN. He said, quote, "The last 3 years he has only one victory in amateur boxing. How does he deserve a rematch? He tapped. He begged me, please don't kill me. Now he's talking about a rematch. Tony Ferguson is on the line. People who have win streaks are on the line. But not the guy who don't win nothing the last 3 years. Right now, I'm focused on September 7th. It has been confirmed that Nurmagomedov will face interim lightweight champ Dustin Poirier on September 7th at UFC 242 in a unification contest in Abu Dhabi. And that's pretty much it.
He did make mention to him beating some of the best strikers at 155. He said Michael Johnson, Conor McGregor, and then he goes, both who have beaten you, Dustin Poirier. You know, that's what Khabib thrown out there. He also said at the press conference that if he needs to beat Ferguson and GSP after Poirier, and his legacy is sealed. But he doesn't want to fight GSP at 170. He wants to fight him at 155. So I guess his legacy will never be sealed.
Way to go, Aljo Sterling.
Yeah!
Screw Collie B. Brat Dog.
Ba-da-ba! Yeah, there you go.
Wonderful.
Aljo for the win. Who does he get next is the question. All right. So
Mariah's.
Mariah's? It's very possible. That's probably what's going to happen. Sure. Michael Anzalone in the chat. Are you watching? I mean, these are your boys over here. You watching Boston? 50. I mean, they are.
Well, he's not watching, but he's in the chat.
They are completely outplaying the Blues. Completely outplaying them. Yet the Blues have minimal shots, and they are up 2-0 in the Stanley Cup Finals, Game 7. If you're not watching this, if you don't watch hockey at all, this is the time to do it. This is the time to do it. We'll be dipping in and out, giving you updates. All right, so let's see. Khabib Poirier press conference. And he said that Conor begged him
not to kill him during the fight. After he submitted him, or he was about to submit him in the fourth round, and Conor, I guess, was begging him not to kill him.
Please.
No,
yeah.
Conor was begging.
Yeah, I mean, he was begging him. He was done. Conor had enough. He's like, choke me out. It's time to get paid. It's time for the brawl. There was a question that slipped by Khabib that I wish he answered, but he didn't hear it. And he said, is there anything that you regret? And then he says, in my country, I forgot what he said, but he completely
sideswiped it.
Yeah, he completely. I think he didn't understand the question. But I really wanted to hear what he said if he did regret the brawl, because it took everything away from that huge win. You know, that was such a big moment for Khabib, and then you have that brawl that just kind of it puts a bad light in the whole situation.
Yeah.
You know, and then you have the whole shit with his buddies where he was holding out, and the whole respect thing and yada yada yada. So I'm looking forward to Khabib getting back in there immediately. And we can move past the Conor thing. And then if the stars line up again, maybe we'll see it happen. Who knows? Who the fuck knows? Who cares? But he's not fighting GSP, because GSP is not going to be at 155. That's not happening. All right, let's move on to the next story as Jesse is mesmerized by hockey. What do you say?
They came close.
Yeah, who came close?
St.
Let
Louis.
us know. St. Louis?
They
Almost
came
went up
close
3-0?
to getting a goal, but I don't know how to do play-by-play for hockey, so I can't tell you what happened. But it was interesting.
If I had it my way right now, like we have Bellator 222 this Friday. We'll do a fight reaction to that. Tomorrow we'll be uploading a Mike Kimball interview. Kimball was at CES 56. He's fighting on this card on Friday. Talented kid, young, super young, and we get him battling tomorrow. And there's really not much besides the press conference and UFC 238 we can go into. We have a lot of stories, but I'd rather just watch the fucking hockey game, to be honest with you. I mean, this is something else. But we will get into news because we have a job to do over here, Jesse. What's the next story?
According to MMA Mania, you're going to get a kick out of this one. Construction crane collapses.
Collapses?
You can't stop the Siberian Express. Choo-choo, motherfucker.
It's Dapper Dave 527 coming in.
ESPN was showing a post-fight interview with Ferguson. He's standing next to Bisping and look bigger than him. He also has a BJJ black bet. Khabib fighting Ferguson might be just like Poirier versus Holloway. Holloway look way too small next to Poirier.
So we go, Dapper Dave coming in. Ferguson is a big dude, man. He is a big dude. Standing next to Bisping and look bigger than him. Ferguson at 170, and somehow he keeps making it. So he is a big 170, and Khabib says he doesn't want to go up because he wants to be the bigger at 155. But Ferguson is a problem for sure. I see the Mobber in the chat says, in my country, we progress, not regress. That is the line. Thank you. That is exactly what I was talking about. So it was regrets was what he was asked. Does he have any regrets? And he said, in my country, we progress, not regress. That's my terrible Khabib.
That was
so thank
good.
you. Thank you, the Mobber. All right, Jesse, let's get into this crane story. What the fuck is this? What happened?
A construction crane has collapsed on Macy Chiason's apartment in Dallas, Texas.
Wow.
Yes, wait until you hear the whole story behind this one.
How funny. Weren't we just talking? We passed a crane in Arizona, and I was saying to you, have you ever seen those things, those terrible things where cranes collapse? And now this story comes up. Do you remember we were talking about that?
I do remember you asking me.
Well, here you go.
So Macy, she's lucky to be alive after a construction crane collapsed on her apartment in Dallas, Texas last Sunday. During a storm in the DFW area, winds reached up to 80 miles per hour, attributing the collapse of the crane. Unfortunately, one person was killed in the accident, while several were injured, including Chiason herself, who cut her foot on broken glass as she tried to make her way away from danger with her and dog in tow. She said, I heard a little bit of something and I was like, there's no way that they're doing constructions right now on Sunday. All of a sudden, when I said that to myself, I heard a loud boom. I could hear whatever it was kind of falling through the ceiling floor by floor. Once I heard that, I called my dog and we ran out. According to NBC FDW, the apartment building has been shut down and all tenants have been evacuated, leaving them, Macy included, without a place to stay. Furthermore, and this is the part that would get you,
Acumen.
an investigation is underway with the news outlet reporting that Big Crane and Rigging, the owner of the equipment, was cited 18 times by OSHA over the last 10 years.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm very unprofessional right now. I am actually listening to this story, and it's fucking crazy. Niall Flanagan says, put your shoes on, which is hilarious.
Acumen.
This is a terrible thing that you're talking about, but Jesus Christ, I just saw the puck bounce off the top of the fucking bar. It almost went in, bounced off the back of the goalie. Somehow it didn't go in. And Boston is still only down 2-0. That would have been 3-0 right there. All right, anyway, sorry about that. I just got fucking completely sidetracked. So one person did die from this.
Yeah, and several others were injured. But the company who was in charge of the equipment was cited 18 times in the last 10 years by OSHA.
What the fuck?
And And then this happens.
Wow. You know what? Someone said that they needed me there. I should have been there. I could have held this thing together.
Macy did file a lawsuit against the apartment building as well as the big crane and rigging, citing lack of having proper safety protocols in place at the complex. The suit also claims that the crane company failed to properly maintain and inspect the piece of equipment.
Am I wrong for wanting to see Macy fight the crane in her next fight? Like, put them both in the cage and duke it out there? What do you think? Is that a wrong thing to think?
Never.
Who do you think would win, Jesse? I mean, so far the crane won the first bout, right? Because the crane cut up her foot.
Well, no, I think she went the distance with the crane because she came out alive.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know. This kind of ended like the Cowboy versus Ferguson fight. The crane blew its nose, and look what happened. You know, I kind of want a rematch. No?
Yes.
All right. There you go. Let us know in the chat what you think about this. And thankfully she's okay, and that sucks that someone died. It's fucking horrible. As we joke about it, I mean, you don't want anyone to die.
She said she heard it falling floor by floor, and she called her dog just in the nick of time.
She's like, dog, get away from the crane. He's like, yes, I will.
No, she heard it falling when she called her dog, and they got out before she got hit with anything.
Was the dog Lassie? So like, the dog starts coming in barking. It's like, ruff, 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 ruff. What foo-foo? The crane has just fallen? Fallen? Oh my God, it's fallen? Oh my God. We must go? What? What? There's shards of glass in my foot?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yikes. That was tough.
It's a slow news night. It's a slow news night.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. 50 likes, Jesse. Let's beat the shit out of our ceilings. Everyone flex in the chat. Make that fist. Punch your ceiling immediately.
I've got 50 likes. You've got 50 likes. We've got 50 likes. MMA-Holes 50 likes. I've got 50 likes. You've got 50 likes. We've got 50 likes. MMA-Holes 50 likes. I've got 50 likes. You've got 50 likes. We've got 50 likes. MMA-Holes 50 likes. The dislikes can
choke on a dick. Yes, 4 people choking on a dick and 52 people.
Hanging with the boys.
It's good to see you. Look at all those fists fly in the chat. I hope that everyone, 113 people watching, I hope that everyone is really fist pumping with us. Right? I'm assuming everyone is.
Yes.
Are you a hockey fan now?
A little bit. This is getting, like, I'm actually finding myself wanting to pay more attention to this.
This is how dedicated. Let me know in the chat with the ones if you're actually watching the hockey game with us. It is the Game 7 Stanley Cup Final. Oh, I almost burped all over the place and vomited. St. Louis is up 2-0 in the second.
When he burps, he goes.
I almost puke every time I burp. Oh, man. Look at this, Jess. This is what I was talking about before. Holy shit. Bounced off the top bar, off of his shoulder, and somehow it didn't go in. Oh, my God. That could have been nail in the coffin right there. 3-0. Still 2-0 is a big hole. I'm watching the only important thing on right now. Right now. This is Kainoto.
Wonderful.
I'm fucking
Jessica
all over the
G
place.
says hockey's gay.
Well, there isn't many Mexican hockey players, so.
Well, I gotta say, it's actually like I'm kind of sad I didn't get into hockey sooner. You know, I got into all the other sports, but not hockey.
You got into MMA late. Get into hockey now. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, no, I know. It's fascinating. It is very fascinating to watch.
Yeah, there's no. You can always get into a sport. Who cares? But yeah. They're making a Shaft movie, too. Okay, so we are highly distracted. And there is a fight this weekend, the co-main events. Jesse, tell us something about this.
All right.
Please.
According to MMA junkie Lyoto Machida admits missing Chael Sonnen's trash talk ahead of the Bellator 222 clash. Former UFC light heavyweight champ Lyoto Machida is all set to return to the Bellator cage at Madison Square Garden this weekend, but he admitted noticing that something was missing from the build-up. Machida takes on fellow veteran Chael Sonnen on Friday night in New York City and says he's been surprised at a lack of trash talk from his usually vocal opponent. Talking to MMA Junkie Radio ahead of the bout, the Dragon said there was a healthy respect between the pair, but admitted that he wouldn't have minded if Sonnen had engaged in a little pre-fight smack talk to help sell the fight. He said, quote, "He's very respectful of me, and I appreciate that, but actually, I'd like him to promote the fight a little bit more because he knows how to do that. I'm not worried about trash talk. If it's going to be good for the fight, I'm okay, man." Machida is looking to register his second straight win under the Bellator banner following his free agency switch from the UFC last year. Despite his decorated career, the Brazilian admitted he felt new nerves when he made his promotional debut against Rafael Carvalho at Bellator 213 last December. And with his Bellator cage jitters out of the way and a split decision win under his belt, Machida says he's ready and relaxed ahead of his second appearance for his new promotion.
Yeah, Lyoto Machida versus Chael Sonnen. Co-main event, like 42 versus 41 or 40. The 40 fight is happening. Both fighters are likable to me. Chael was one of the guys that I got, into MMA with. I loved watching Chael fight. The Anderson banter back and forth, I thought was fantastic. But do you think when Chael Sonnen's like, yeah, I'm not going to trash talk to hype up this Bellator card at MSG, do you think that the people at Bellator are like...
Maybe.
At this state of the game, are people like, what the fuck? I can't play that song.
Yeah, people are like that.
You can't do that. That's a premature ejaculation right there.
Blasphemy.
I mean, that's Chael's job. Chael's job is to sell a fight, right?
Yeah.
The trash talk, the cringe, and stuff like that. Do you think at this point in the game, they want to just tune into Chael's fights? They want the whole package. And you're kind of not getting that.
Yeah.
You kind of... Stop it.
Sorry.
Stop it. You're not getting that with this Bellator card here. And, I mean, honestly, it's going to get shit ratings. You mean to tell me that Gracie versus McDonald is going to fucking get people in the seats at Madison Square Garden or make people watch? I'm interested. But a casual fan is not going to give a fuck about this.
No, I agree. I do kind of agree with Lyoto that Chael should have at least hyped it up a little bit. I get the respect thing, but it's almost like brown nosing, if he kisses his ass too much. You kind of want, it's kind of weird. It just weirds you out a little because it's not like it's not the Sonnen you're used to.
If Chael gets fucked up in this fight, he retires. That's what I'm going. He said in his last fight, though, it's in him. He has no interest in retiring, but he's got the whole podcast going now. He's got the ESPN thing with Ariel going on. He's got so many gigs. He doesn't have to get punched in the face anymore. He can kick his leg over his other leg, hang out, just sit on his couch and just bullshit about the sport. He doesn't have to fight anymore. What else does he have to prove? I mean, he was never a champ, but, coming back after the whole steroid thing and having a little fun with Bellator, he's done it all.
You can't stop the Siberian Express. Choo-choo, motherfuckers.
Let's see what Kevin has to say from Chicago.
Most of Khabib's past opponents are retired or coming off losses. Tibau, Horcher, Healy, Tavares, Johnson, Yaquinta, Barboza, Trujillo. Tibau was the only one known for his wrestling, and that was Khabib's toughest fight. All that said, Khabib hype job McNuggets.
There you go. So he's saying they all came off of losses, which is true. A lot of those fighters did come off a loss, except for Conor, because Conor, that Mayweather thing doesn't count. Came off a win. But yeah, listen. If you're trying to angle a way that Dustin Poirier is going to win this fight, then you must know Marty McFly, because there is no fucking way Poirier is beating Khabib. The only person that has a shot right now is Tony El Kukui Ferguson, and that's it. I have a feeling that this will go 5 rounds, though. I do. Because,
really?
Yeah, and the reason why...
Wait.
No, this is why. I think it's going to be an Ally Quinta again. I think that's what's going to happen here. I think Poirier is going to do enough to get himself out of sticky situations. I think he's going to have flashes of looking good on the feet. I think he's going to tag Khabib. Khabib doesn't crack, though. None of his punches are going to put out Khabib. That's not going to happen here. But yeah. Khabib's going to do enough to win. He's going to dominate in the fight, and it's going to go to distance because there's no hatred there. Khabib needs to hate this person. If he hated Dustin Poirier, he would do everything he can. Or Michael Johnson, he went in there and wanted to make a point to Dana White. That's why he was fucking Michael Johnson up and looking over at Dan is like, give me McChicken, give me McTapper, whatever the fuck he called him over
I don't think it's going to go 5 rounds.
I think it will, just because. So you think he's just going to
I think he's going to completely suffocate Poirier.
I want to hear the people that think Poirier is going to win, because there's a couple of things. First of all, place the bet, right? If you really think Poirier is going to win, listen, he beat Max Holloway again, so that's impressive. I don't want to take anything away from that. That was fantastic, right? So DP looking great at 155, but he did lose to Michael Johnson. Khabib smashed him. He lost to Conor McGregor. Khabib smashed him too, and both of those guys knocked Dustin out clean, easy, early in the fight. Listen, I know it's MMA math, but here we go again. I'm jumping right back over there.
No!
I'm doing it. Let's see.
MMA math.
So where is it? Why does it still have Nurmagomedov versus McGregor? What the fuck? Oh, here we go. Poirier. So Poirier is a plus 300. It's not enough. It's not enough to put a bet for me. But for the people out there that really think Dustin Poirier is going to win, put your money where your mouth is, man. Go for it.
Yeah.
If you really feel that's going to happen. I mean, DP has proved me wrong before. He has. So I can't kill him for that, but this is just one I stay far away from. I'm not going on that. I'm not jumping on that train. That's for sure. A train I might jump on is Holly Holm. I kind of like her, Amanda Nunes. Amanda Nunes should be the favorite, of course. You know, she is the best right now.
Yeah.
She's the legend killer. But Holly Holm, you know, she's killed the legend too. And Holly Holm knows how to win a fight, and I feel that she can make this one tricky. So I like Holly in this fight. I don't know if I'm going to place the bet yet, but I do like Holly.
No placing bets yet. Don't do that again. Let's just wait.
Hold on a second. I haven't failed you yet.
Well, yes,
Think about
you
it.
did.
What did I do with Henry Cejudo?
Jessica I.
Yeah, and what happened? I placed that last second bet Henry Cejudo. I'm like, let me fucking back that shit up. What did I do? And we won money. So stop. Never doubt me. Well, listen, that was a plus 600. It wasn't like.
And you placed that bet.
Did I tell you? Did I say, what? Jesse?
Did you just put your finger in my
Did I
business?
say Jessica I is gonna fucking smash Valentina Shevchenko? No, I did not say. I said she's a plus 600. Let's take a gamble. So stop it. You and your Jessica I bullshit.
The premature bet.
It's plus 600. Anyway. Let me know in the chat who you want to bet on. By the way, there are some fights this weekend we were just talking about, and Chael Sonnen is a plus 265. So let me know what you think about that, Jesse. Chael Sonnen plus 265 over the Dragon. What do you think about that bet? You are just out. You are watching hockey.
This goalie's really good. Look at this. Oh, wait, no, not that one.
Did you know that I used to actually play hockey? Like, hockey was my sport. I broke many bones playing hockey.
You just missed it.
I fucking love this sport, right? I would like to just stop the stream and watch it too. But can you just try?
All right.
Please. We have it on here.
What do I think about the bet for Chael Sonnen? And
Chael Sonnen, for God's sakes, is a plus 265.
I would make that bet.
What?
Yeah.
All right. Help me out.
Why?
Why are you making that bet? Or are you just saying that just to be a knucklehead?
No, I
You look like complete shit in his last, couple of fights.
Well, look who he fought.
Yeah? Yeah, who did he fight?
Fedor?
Yeah, Fedor.
Yeah.
The last emperor who was on his last leg. And he still beat him.
He wasn't on his last leg.
He still beat him.
He still looked good.
Yeah. I think Chael Sonnen, I mean, he is like a shell of his former self. I don't see. I want him to win this fight. I like Chael, but I think the Dragon is just going to beat him up. I really do. Hockey play-by-play. You want that, right. Earth? I'm down with that. You want to just make this a hockey stream? I'll do it right fucking now. Chael rolls over and quits the first chance he gets. Never put money on him. Yeah, I couldn't do it. But what about Neiman Gracie? This one's interesting.
Oh, yeah. I've got Neiman all the way on that one.
He's an underdog, which makes sense. But Neiman Gracie over Rory McDonald, the main event over here, plus 145. What do you say about that, Jess?
I would put my money on Gracie. Never bet against a Gracie.
What? Really?
Never bet against a Gracie.
Wrong thing. Let's go over to Bellator. So you're saying put it on Gracie. Gracie has not lost yet. He's only 9-0, but he has looked pretty damn good. Rory McDonald, that last fight wasn't very good, but it's almost the same thing, right? You got a guy that's going to get him to the ground, make it very difficult. It could be the same recipe. So Neiman Gracie might be a pretty good bet.
I concur.
This Grand Prix sucks, by the way. The welterweight Grand Prix is a complete shit show in Bellator.
What?
It's a shit show.
What?
Why is it good?
Why do you think it's a shit show?
I think it's a shit show because after that Rory McDonald fight the last time,
yeah.
which he lost, somehow he's moving on.
Oh.
It doesn't make any sense.
No, I get it.
It didn't make any sense.
I guess to give Neiman Gracie the fight, right? They need to give Gracie a fight to move up.
If a tie goes to the champion, I guess, and you can move it on. It's just so stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I think it's a good fight, and I think it makes for an entertaining addition to the card. So
I don't at all.
I think
this is fucking. I think this card is lame. There's a couple of things to look on it though. You have the GOAT Dylan Danis. So you have the savior there on the card, and that's about it. That's all I give a shit about. Although
Juan Archuleta.
Although on the prelims, you do have our buddy Mike Kimball, who is fighting again. He did come off that loss, but his first two fights he killed his opponents, and he holds the record for quickest knockout in Bellator history. Mike Kimball. Interviews dropping tomorrow. He's on the prelim, so I'm interested in that.
Yeah,
but this card's terrible.
Didn't they move him from the main card?
Justin,
said that?
stop watching the fucking game.
Sorry.
You are not paying attention in any way.
I am paying attention.
Yeah. Don't look there. Look over there or look over here.
I'm
How
paying
dare
attention.
you? Okay. So didn't they remove him? Yeah, we just said
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You don't have to be so mean about it. Listen, sometimes I miss things that you say.
I feel like I'm giving class right now, and my student next to me is
I'm
not
your
paying
student
attention.
now?
She's not my student. She's not paying attention to the lesson.
Yes, I am.
So Mike Kimball is on the prelims.
But
I'm gonna turn it off. I don't want to turn the game off because I want to watch it too.
I'm talking to
All right,
you
go
about
ahead.
MMA.
I'm gonna put you on the
now
spot.
you're being a little ridiculous.
Put you on the spotlight. Go for it.
Now I forgot what my question was.
Yeah, because you're not even fucking paying attention.
I
Mike
had a
Kimball.
question. I had a genuine question.
You had a question?
Yeah.
Oh, what was your question?
I can't remember anymore because you're too busy telling me how I wasn't paying attention.
Okay, let's backtrack. Mike
All right,
Kimball.
backtrack to the hockey. All right, let's move on.
God, I swear to God, there should be a fucking club in here, and I could just bop you over the head with it every time you
All right.
get out of line.
I focus.
Yeah. So all right, fuck Mike Kimball. Although, listen, sell me on this card. Someone in the chat, please, tell me why this is a worthwhile card besides Dylan Dennis, because I mean that's a given, of course. But tell me why I should give a shit about this card. We'll react to it, but I want to know.
Well, the main and co-main event are reason enough. It surprises me that I don't know. I just feel like it surprises me that you're not at least a little hyped about that.
Leo and Machida versus Sonnen
It's a
5
great
years
fight.
ago. I'd be interested in it.
It's a
not
great
now.
fight now. Why is it not a great
How
fight
is
now?
it? All right, explain to me why it's a
No,
great
I
fight.
asked you first. Why do you think it's a
Because
great fight?
Chael Sonnen's probably going to retire any day now. He don't give a fuck. He's not even trash talking anymore.
He's not trashing Lyoto because he respects him.
He respects all the fighters. It's a shtick. Yeah, it's a shtick. I think he's on his way out. I think he's just like, fuck it. I mailed it in. I'm just going to collect the paycheck. If I get mutilated, I retire. And hang out with Ariel. Suck each other's dicks. That's how I'm going. You know that's not a good fight.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
All right. Let's see what the chat says.
Mitchell Calkins says Bruins are going to lose. I think so.
Looks like it.
Prison Mike says we are sick of trash talks, to be honest. Jessica
Really?
G says past life and logic. T-Bird says LOL. Kevin from Chicago says Hiro Kuchi, best bantamweight in the world. Henry Sosa says I put $10 on Gracie. Good bet, Henry.
There you
Good
go.
bet. I would do the same.
You know, let's talk about betting real quick. BetDSI. What do we
Just
got?
because you're not in Vegas doesn't mean you can't bet on MMA and UFC. BetDSI offers online wagering and has been paying winners for 20 years. Use the link in the description with promo code MMA-Hole, all one word, and get up to 100% bonus match as well as $25 as a welcome bonus today. BetDSI also offers betting options for everything including NFL, NCAA football, NBA, NHL, UFC, and all their major sports, politics, reality TV, esports, virtually everything. We play there ourselves and recommend BetDSI if you want to add some excitement to the fights or any other sports you are watching. Once again, go to BetDSI with the link in the description below using promo code MMA-Hole and get this limited time 100% bonus offer as well as $25 welcome bonus to make some extra cash on the sports you know and love. It's only a game until you bet it at BetDSI.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Can you bet hockey on BetDSI?
Yeah, you can.
Ooh.
Actually, wow, where have you been? Real donated tonight and says he has money on the Blues. He actually
With BetDSI?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the only way you do it.
Fancy schmancy.
All right.
All right.
It's a way to know your sponsors. By the way, Kyoji Hiraguchi, someone in the chat was bringing him up. I think it was Kevin and someone else. 27-2-0. I'm not familiar with this kid. They're saying he's a good bantamweight, and he looks pretty good. He's fighting a 13-1 Darian Caldwell. We've seen him before. He is the champion. But a Horiguchi, I don't know much about this guy. Let me look him up a little bit.
Kyoji Horiguchi.
Let me look this cat up. I don't even know.
Bingo is in St. Louis.
How you spell his name?
Kyoji Horiguchi. Horiguchi.
All right, here we go.
Kyoji Horiguchi.
Should have did my homework, but I was too busy into the hockey game. 27-2-0. There he is. Scroll down to his statisticals over here.
Oh, only a 2-fight win streak.
Well, I mean, he's fighting for Risen, so that's why we're not. Listen, we don't watch Risen.
Oh, his loss was a kickboxing bout.
Yeah, so that was kickboxing. MMA, he's been killing it, and man, oh man, look at him go. He was actually on a UFC fight night. I don't fucking remember this kid. When was this? 2016. Why do I not? Why was he cut? Or why did he leave? Just to fight in Risen? His fight in his homeland?
Guess so.
He fought Risen this whole time. He was UFC Fight Night 99 2016. I don't remember him. So he was on the UFC roster and just went over to, he was on the Jones Cormier card. How do I not remember this guy? Maybe I'm racist, Jesse.
Are you just not coming to this conclusion?
I don't know. Maybe I'm racist. I don't know. I don't know. He looks like a lot of other fighters that I've seen, and they all look the same, Jess. I don't know. Am I racist?
Maybe.
Ken sure would whoop his ass. I agree. Ken would definitely whoop his ass. So he fought in the UFC, and he went to Risen. I'm assuming that the UFC did not cut this man. I'm assuming that he decided to bounce. He's only 5'5", but we've seen what Henry Cejudo could do at 5'5".
You can't stop the Siberian Express.
Choo-choo, motherfuckers.
Here we go.
Brent Shaw posts 3 MMA shows and still doesn't know they are fighting in Abu Dhabi and not in Dubai.
Oh, man.
Poirier will finally get to live backwoods of Louisiana.
There you go. So roasting Brendan Schaub a little bit. Thank you, Dr. Dreamer. And Poirier will finally get to leave backwoods of Louisiana. Yeah. After this fight, I mean, he's getting paid. He's got to be getting paid, right? He's traveling to hostile territory, Abu Dhabi. He fell asleep today. He got paid to fall asleep at the press conference. So there you go. There's Dustin Poirier. This is actually a real picture of them falling asleep. Don't mind their feminine eyes. Eyelids, I should say. But yeah. So Dustin Poirier versus... Well, good for him getting paid. If he beats Khabib, man, that would be something else. Like I said, that would be the movie. That would be the storybook ending for Dustin Poirier. Not the most exciting guy in the world, but found the love of his life early in his amateur days. You know, she was with him through thick and thin. He's taken some terrible losses, you know, where he's right there and then falls, gets knocked out horribly. And his wife is there, or his girlfriend is there for him. Then he wins an interim strap. And in the finale, the final chapter of this movie, Dustin Poirier goes to fucking Abu Dhabi to fight a man who's 27-0 with a fuzzy hat. And then beats him. Now, who's a faggot? Dustin or my story? Yeah, you wouldn't watch that movie?
Why would I faggot your story?
I don't know. I thought you just faggoted me. I've gotten that before. Real says,
Moss, you're not racist. Stop trying to steal my title. You can't trust those Jap fighters. They aren't true warriors. Just ask the pilots of the Enola Gay #Nagasaki #Hiroshima I bet 500 tacos on the bluesy arm so close to lots of hookers and coke.
Real. He dropped some Dolores from on BetDSI for the Blues and looking pretty good. They're up 2-0. The second has ended, correct?
Yes.
All right, so we're going to the third period.
This goalie is fucking amazing.
So
they're doing like a recap, like highlights of the first two.
It's just funny because the Blues didn't even show up. Like the Boston has been in their zone the entire game. Binnington stopped all 23 shots faced in the second. Man. Oh, he has 23 overall. Excuse me, between the two periods. But how many shots do in the first period? The Blues had like 4 shots on goal, and 2 of them went in. It's insane. But it's a 2-0 going into the third. It's going to be good. All right. Anyway, I'm sidetracked here. You really don't think that would be a good movie, huh? I mean, it has all the makings of a good... Why not? That's like some fucking story. Really? I mean, they made a notorious story, for God's sake.
It's going to be like the movie The Fighter all over again, only this time for MMA.
Okay. I'm going to say this right now. The Fighter sucked. That was a shitty fight movie.
I don't think it was.
Warrior, The Fighter.
Super chat.
Come on. Stop it. Tucker Baker.
This is revenge for Patriots beating KC. Go Blues.
Yeah, I'm leaning with the Blues too, man. I mean,
my brother's from St. Louis. I wonder.
There you go. Well, he lives in St. Louis. He's not from St. Louis. Pull those letters over here.
Sorry,
It's different.
Grammar police over here.
I'm not from Canada. New York. Big Ranger fan over here. But I don't hate either team.
Mail.
All right, sorry. Man, we're all over the place tonight. Warrior. All right, let me know. Warrior, Tom Hardy, the GOAT. Warrior was way better than the Fighter. I agree. All right, let's have a vote in the chat. Warrior or the Fighter? I thought the Fighter sucked compared to Warrior. You really thought Fighter was better than Warrior? There's no way in hell.
No, I just said it was a good movie.
Nah, yeah, but I asked you. All right. Let's see what Jesse has over here. Now, let's explain to the people. Okay. There's an address down below.
Sure.
We're going to give until the next UFC pay-per-view, which is UFC 239, right? Johnny Bones. What we're going to do is the best submission that we're going to throw on the wall of fame over here, whatever you want to call this thing. We'll be getting a timeless CBD product.
Wonderful.
Timeless CBD product. This is the first 3 submissions over here that we saw in the mail. So who is this from, Jess?
This one's from Trevor Poole. He did 2 submissions, so this is the first of 2.
All right, let's see what this is, Jesse. All right. So basically, it has to be either MMA hole related or UFC related, something cringy, something weird. Doesn't matter what the hell it is. It's something good. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Jesse's pulling the paper out. All right. I see colors. I like colors.
So the first thing I see on here is MMA Holes Hour.
Okay. Let's see if you show the camera a little bit, Jesse. The MMA Holes Hour, like that. All right. All right. Here's the submission. Now, what is on this paper? Wow, there's a lot of stuff.
It says, love you, Moss and JBH. Really want that vape. Haha.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Here we go. This is what I'm talking about.
So it looks like it says Moss and JBH.
The other way. There you go.
There we go.
Right there. Look at that. Get the Bellator symbol.
Timeless CBD, Pride, 1FC, UFC, CES, Bellator, 50 likes.
Oh, yeah.
Triton Fights.
Look at that.
BetDSI, the MMA Holes Hour.
I like that.
Fight Buddies, and the Mystical Goat.
That is fucking wonderful. So that is the first submission over there. I have to say this. Would you mind, though, if we lose one of these sponsors, if we just scribble out, or if we're falling out with any fight promotions?
I have a feeling
that's fucking
happen.
awesome. Look at that. This is going to go on the wall regardless.
All
so
right
here is so far in the lead. Let's see if you can top that. Right? Now, I don't care if you draw like a fucking 4-year-old. It doesn't matter. Just send it over here.
Here we go.
And we'll throw it out.
Second submission.
Not throw it out. Throw it
Also from Trevor Poole.
All right, let's see. I like this.
All right.
It is an art contest, Gary. So submit it.
Okay, so it says MMA Holes on the top here.
Yeah.
Jesse, JBH.
Yeah.
Chris Moss has an MMA Holes jersey, the one that's back there.
Beautiful.
All right. The MMA Holes, wonderful, UFC, CBD, and, of course, Pervert Cameraman.
There you go. That's pretty wonderful. 2 submissions over there. Trevor Poole, try to top that. I don't think there's any artist better than this in our chat. I don't think anyone could beat this, right? It actually looks like when you watch American Idol and the kids hold up the signs. They're like, I love you, Shane. And there it is. There we go. We're going to put one of these on the wall for sure. Which one do you... I like this one. I like
now,
the first one.
This one's from the Luke Thomas fan club.
All right. Let's see what we got.
No name to give a reward to, so we'll...
The Luke Thomas fan club.
Yeah, it just says from the Luke Thomas fan club.
Let's see. Oh.
It says, to JBH with love, Lukey.
Wonderful.
Oh, shit. That's got to go on the wall. All right, we're going to take down Brando. We're definitely going to take down Brando. He's going.
Yes.
Maybe what we'll do is...
Lukey.
I'll tell you what. Whatever comes in, we're going to squeeze it up on this wall over here. And the Brando will give away to the best. How about we give that away to the best submission as well?
All right.
So timeless CBD, and you get a Brando picture too.
Deal.
I don't know why you want that, but it's time to go. There he is, Luke Thomas.
Lukey, not Luke Thomas.
I like how he's stretched out, like how he's just completely elongated. He looks like a fucking cock.
Looks like a noodle.
Yeah. All right, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. There's an address down below. Send us your art to the MMA Holes, address down below, and we will show it on air, and the best submission will get something from Timeless CBD, and we'll maybe a couple of submissions. I don't know. We got a bunch of good ones.
Thanks.
You have until UFC 239, so get them in. A lot of people are all talk. A lot of people are like, yeah, I'm going to send you guys something. I'm going to send it. Nothing.
Yeah.
Actually 3. I'm sorry. 3 submissions ever. You had these 2, which are awesome over here. Actually 4, because you have that wood carving. But then you have Isaiah Moore with this little thing over here.
I actually like that one.
You got this shit over here too. That's pretty cool.
The head, the skull. That's awesome.
3D print. So yeah, fucking penises. Anyway. All right, let's move on to the next story. As we have to move on, Jesse, because it's the third period's about to get started. I'm gonna pay all attention to the hockey soon.
Yes. All right. According to MMAnews.com, Nick Diaz labels Conor McGregor a piece of shit for calling out celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Diaz is not amused by Conor McGregor's recent call-outs. McGregor has been widely regarded as the biggest star in mixed martial arts. He went from being Ireland's most promising prospect to a 2-division UFC title holder and a mainstream figure. McGregor has been on a quest to get ownership stake in the UFC and has even joked about tussling with actor Mark Wahlberg for shares. Diaz isn't laughing. Diaz blasts McGregor for calling out celebrities. McGregor put out a new tweet with the fight challenge to Wahlberg following singer Justin Bieber's call out of Tom Cruise. If you scroll down, you can see that tweet. Conor said, I challenged Mark Wahlberg on the very same card. Back when Mark Wahlberg was Marky Mark, I'd have still slapped the ears off him and took my UFC shares back. McGregor Sports and Entertainment. Diaz took to Instagram stories to rip Conor McGregor, saying, quote, "Why would you want to fight someone who can't fight? What a piece of sick of shit. What a piece sick of shit. Same as beating someone with handcuffs on." McGregor has a history with Nick's brother Nate. The Notorious One had 2 bouts with Nate that did wonders for the UFC's pay-per-view numbers. In their first encounter back in March 2016, Nate nabbed a submission victory. McGregor won the rematch in August 2016 via majority decision. The timing of Nick's rant on McGregor is interesting, as it comes just a couple of weeks after Michael Bisping's suggestion. The Count said that he likes the idea of McGregor calling out Nick when his co-host on the Believe You Me podcast, Luis Gomez, brought it up. Nick hasn't competed since January 2015. He initially lost a bout with Anderson Silva via unanimous. The result was overturned when Silva failed his post-fight drug test.
All right, so 2 guys that won't fight, Nick and Conor. Make it happen, Dana. Make it happen, Dana. All right, next story.
According to MMA Fighting, Rose Namajunas definitely interested in a Jessica Andrade rematch, but is not ready to fight yet.
Where did tits go in this picture? Where'd they go? Didn't I thought she had some sort of tits, no? Did she have fucking armpit hair in this picture?
No,
What
it's
the
from
fuck?
her t-shirt. It's like that
Let's do an investigation.
material.
We're gonna get to the bottom of this. This is what kind of show we run over here. We get to the bottom of the situation. All right, we're gonna go to the pit. Gonna make sure there's nothing in there. That's armpit hair.
No, it's
She's a
not.
man.
It's a t-shirt.
No tits and armpit hair.
It's t-shirt material.
I don't know. I think she didn't shave for the pic.
Oh my god.
All right, what's the deal? So she doesn't want to retire.
For those of you guys who are wondering what was going on with Rose, she may not get the next shot at new UFC strawweight champion Jessica Andrade, but she's definitely interested in that rematch when she returns. Namajunas lost her 115-pound title to Andrade back in May after the Brazilian hoisted her in the air during a takedown attempt and then brought her crashing back down to the canvas with a vicious slam.
Harry Rose! Harry Rose!
Namajunas was knocked out from the impact, and Andrade was crowned the new strawweight champion. Prior to the slam, Namajunas had done a masterful job avoiding Andrade's power while winning the first round and then looking good in the second round, as well as before she suffered the knockout. In the aftermath of that fight, Rose cast doubt on her plans for future, but according to her manager, Brian Butler of Sucker Punch Entertainment, the former champion is resting and recovering from a neck injury and hopes that she can return before the end of 2019. Andrade is rumored for a fight against Chinese strawweight Weili Zhang in August, although that matchup has not been confirmed or announced by the UFC yet. Obviously, it sounds like Rose would like to face the winner of that fight, but right now her main concern is healing up her neck injury before notifying the UFC that she's ready to fight.
All right. Well, I would like to see that run back. I really would, but I don't know if that should be next for Andrade. Thug Rose. Well, I'm glad you're not retiring because I believe you will win that fight. And I don't know if you got tired or if you were hurt, but you got slammed and you lost your belt. Just like that. You went to hostile territory, which I think that was a bad decision. Kind of like what Poirier is doing, but Poirier doesn't have the belt. Khabib has the belt, so it makes sense why that's happening. Andrade didn't have the belt. Not sure why this happened in Brazil, but it did. So let us know in the chat, do you want a rematch or yes or no? Yes rematch or no? This is our chat room over here. Welcome, friends. I would love to hear your thoughts or read your thoughts, so now's the time to do it. Boss Koger drops a 1, so he's like, yeah, I'd like to see the rematch. Kevin, I'm guessing you are a dumb Polak who blows his priest.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Michael Anzalone with the yes, sir. Last time I saw that much hair under an armpit, it was Cyborg. It was on Cyborg.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yuck, says Life and Logic. Kevin from Chicago. Jessica G is a single mother raising a bastard child.
That's not very nice.
Sean Rojas with a 1. Gary says yes, but not yet. I'm with you, Gary. Yes, rematch is James. No rematch. I'm sick of them. Remember the Frankie Edgar rematch era? Andrade rides around in a nice car. A nice car got... what, Enos Cosby jacked and killed.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And there you go. That's our community right over there. Thank you for joining us tonight. All right. Would you like to see a rematch, Jess?
Yeah, I would, because I think that Rose was winning that first round, and I think the judges, said the same thing, and I think it was just an unfortunate thing. She got caught, she got picked up and dropped on her head, and I feel there could have been different ways that the outcome of that fight could have gone. There's Michael J. Fox.
So they're showing the celebrities at the Stanley Cup final. We're watching Boston versus St. Louis on the side. And I see that Gronkowski's there. with a Boston jersey on. So right off the bat, I will definitely not be rooting for Boston.
Who?
There's the cup, Jesse. This is Lord Stanley's cup right over here. If you could see the etching on this cup of the previous champions. It is the most...
What happens when it fills up with space?
Well, they take a ring off, which is kind of lame. But yeah, they ran out of room. So they keep on like taking a ring off and then they add a new layer on. So that kind of sucks.
Aww.
The third period is about to go down. And I urge you in the chat, if you don't watch hockey, now's the time to do it. Just watch the celebration. Lord Stanley is going to be hoisted at the end of this game. If St. Louis holds on to this lead, it will be their first Stanley Cup. And they're going to win it in Boston. Their stadium is filled up with all their fans in St. Louis. They are watching it on their Jumbotron, and it's some spectacle here. I'd like to see this go to overtime. I'd like to see Boston tie it up and then like have like an overtime goal or some shit like that. Be insane. But we'll keep you posted on that shite. All right, let's get to the next story, JBH. We'll get through the news. I'd like to talk about the YouTube thing too, the disaster that is YouTube. But let's get into some of these stories here.
According to BJPen.com, Stephen Thompson eyes a war with legend Nate Diaz. After suffering the first knockout loss of his career, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson will miss out on an opportunity to fight at UFC Greenville, a location he's always wanted, but the UFC to visit, but now he's got new goals set for his comeback. Speaking to media in Chicago during last weekend's UFC 238 festivities, Thompson spoke about how he'd like to return in the fall of this year at Madison Square Garden and why he'd love to fight a legend in Nate Diaz. When asked about his most recent opponent, Anthony Pettis' next scheduled fight against Nate Diaz, Thompson said Pettis must have lit a fire under Diaz with his call-out of the Stockton fighter.
I'm not fighting that quick.
Upon his return, Wonderboy is looking for an opponent worthwhile, targeting a top 5 opponent, but also eyeing a potential showdown with Nate Diaz. So the real question is, would you like to see a possible fight between Nate Diaz and Stephen Thompson?
I mean, it would be an interesting fight, but listen, Nate's not taking that. Mm-hmm. Especially if he got knocked out by Pettis. Yeah, that's not happening. But I hope Wonderboy, man, I gotta say, Wonderboy's another one of those guys, man. He was so close to winning a belt and then fumbled twice with the T Wood situation. Man, he's just never gonna have one. It's not gonna line up, and he's not getting any younger.
Against Darren Till, that was a controversial loss.
Yeah, but that's not gonna give him no title. Still an L. I'd like to see him run it back with Till. That should happen, in my opinion. That's the fight to make. Make it happen, Dana. Ricardo Lamas in the news.
According to MMAnews.com, Ricardo Lamas says he fractured his jaw in 3 places in his UFC 238 loss.
He got fucked up in that fight.
Yeah. At UFC 238, Ricardo Lamas was taking on Calvin Kattar in a prelim bout, which promised to bring fireworks. And for less than 5 minutes, it did exactly that as Kattar went into Lamas' home city and knocked him out. It was a brutal knockout, and the injuries from it are even worse. Lamas sent out a post on social media detailing the extent of his injuries. This is what he said. Update: I suffered 3 fractures in my jaw during the fight. Been in the hospital since and had surgery yesterday. Titanium plates were installed. I asked the doctor to install laser guns in my mouth that I could activate with my tongue and shoot through my teeth, but he said that was impossible.
Laser guns is code word for penis, right, Jesse?
Yes.
Wonderful.
I'd like to thank everyone who reached out with kind messages. I'd like to thank my family, my beautiful wife, who without I wouldn't be able to live my dream, my parents and brothers who have supported me from day one, and all my extended family for their support, as well as my sponsors. For my beloved city of Chicago, I'm sorry I let you down again, but I wanted to thank you all for the cheers you gave me during my introduction. It gave me chills, and I will never forget it. Chicago truly has the best fans. For now, it's quality time with my family and baby, number 3, coming early August, which puts in perspective what's really important in life.
Well, Ricardo Lamas, you had a good run, but you will never be a champion, and you got fooked up by a Calvin Kattar. Calvin Kattar, he looks like the real deal. Coming from CES, he is
it Calvin Kattar?
I call him Kattar.
I think it's Kattar.
Kattar, is it?
Yeah, I think
Nah, I'm going Kattar.
Ooh, right in the face.
Yeah, it'd be Ricardo Lamas, Chris Fishgold, both UFC fights over there. He lost to Moicano, which is not a terrible loss over there. Shane Burgos before that. He beat Andre Fili. He beat Chris Foster in CES, and that's right, he came from CES. So there we go. What do you think about this kid? You know, some people aren't too familiar, but now you know. Now you have an idea that he is a player. Mm-hmm. And he is the Boston finisher. So he goes around and completes other men. Right,
finisher.
Jesse?
You said that like Mortal Kombat. Finish him.
finish him.
Wonderful.
Took me a while to find that, Jesse. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I kind of lost his luster.
15 minutes and 50 seconds left in this third period. Boston is losing to St. Louis. They are trying to get a goal here. Their goalie is fantastical as the Blues knock it out of the zone. Can they hold on to this game?
Wait, where's the goalie?
He's playing the puck behind the net. So you see those little red lines? He can't go out of that. He can only play it within those red lines.
Why was he behind the net?
Well, he's playing the puck, helping his team out. It's dangerous, but that's what he was doing. He is something else, T-Bird. So, yeah, we are watching that in the background over here. Bellator 222 will be reacting to on Friday. We're also bringing back...
What?
Fuka Friday. We gonna drink, smoke, food on a Friday. Fuka Friday. We gonna drink, smoke, food on a Friday. Fuka Friday. We gonna drink, smoke, food on a Friday. Fuka Friday. We gonna drink, smoke, food on a Friday. Yeah.
Aw.
You guys pumped up for that? We haven't done that in a while.
Thought you were going
That's
to play
right.
the whole thing.
Nah, it's a little tease. It's a little cock tease, Jesse. As my mic is dipping on me. What's the next story?
The next story. According to MMA Fighting, Karolina Kowalkiewicz issues a statement on her UFC 238 loss saying, quote, "I am not the same fighter I used to be."
Hold on. I got to do a little investigation here, Jesse. This is Karolina Kowalkiewicz, and I don't know what that thing is with her hands behind her back. I'm not sure. It's like she's being handcuffed in every... But what is this between? Is this little tit? Is this individual tit being shown in the middle?
Her
or
dress
is that...
is cut out.
That's a cut?
Yeah.
That's a weird spot, right? It's a little
My
off-center.
dress does that. My wedding dress.
So there's
does that.
Karolina's tit, right? That's her tit right over there. And then under here is just like, whoops, whoa, shit, what happened? There's a little hole.
Yeah.
The fuck is that?
It's cut out.
She has a hole in her dress, Jesse.
No, it's designed that way.
I don't know. Shouldn't there be under tit over here? Like, shouldn't her tit swoop down to this section over here? How's it getting past this? I think this is fake news. I don't know what this is, Jess.
I don't know.
I don't know. Is that a hole or what is that? I don't know. All right, what's the story?
All right. A third straight loss has Karolina Kowalkiewicz feeling some hard realities. The one-time strawweight title challenger failed to stop her slide this past Saturday, losing to a unanimous decision to Alexa Grasso on the ESPN preliminary portion of UFC 238. Kowalkiewicz is now 2-5.
I'm sorry. Infinite Conscious got it, but right. He says you're supposed to put your cock in that hole, Jesse.
Oh, all right.
Wonderful.
I had no idea. I didn't know this is the cock hole for the dress. Did you know that they had dresses with cock holes in it, Jesse?
I did not know that. No.
I did not know that. All right. Back to the story.
On Tuesday, the 33-year-old wrote an earnest Instagram post in which she vowed to continue fighting for her fans, even though she feels she is past her prime. If you go ahead and scroll down, you can actually see that Instagram post. She said, quote, "Congratulations, Alexa Grasso. You've done a great job. Thank you very much, everybody, for the kind words and support. Don't worry about me. It could have been better, but I'm okay. Bruises on my face are going to heal up soon. I poured my whole heart into my last fight, but something was missing. I'm not the same fighter I used to be. The sad truth is that my best years are already behind me. I'm past prime. There are some young, talented girls who I need to give up my space to. But don't worry, I will come back and give you some good fights. Maybe not at the very top, but I will provide you a lot of emotions. Just give me a little bit of time. Thank you very much once again."
Thank you very much. So Karolina Kowalkiewicz is done. That's it. Stick a fork in her. She's never going to fight for a belt. She looked like complete dog shit against Alexa Grasso. Credit to Alexa Grasso. She surprised the hell out of me in this fight. But Karolina Kowalkiewicz, yeah, I will never be picking her again. Ever, Jesse.
She's past her prime, she says.
That's it. So,
But at least she says, "I'll come back and give you guys some fights."
Nah, you could stay off. You could stay home.
She says, "I'm not going to be on top, but, I'll give you guys some entertainment," which is always...
Nah, stay home. I don't need to see her fight anymore. I want fighters that are going to go in there and, go for it. Jesse?
Yeah.
Is that the end? Is that the last story, or we have more?
Oh, we have plenty.
All right, let's get back into the news over here. What do we got? Well, we saw that.
All right.
All right. What the hell's going on here?
You clicked an actual store. What are
story?
you doing? No, go click back.
How do you work this website?
Stop it. Click
Wait,
the back button.
All right.
You're gonna have to click it again because you went and
Oh.
click it again.
How many times I got to click this?
Well,
I'm confused.
You went and clicked the actual post. You shouldn't have done that.
What?
Click it again. Oh wait, no, don't click it again.
You keep telling me to click it. It's the same shit.
You're good. Now scroll.
Okay, I was literally just there, but all right.
Scroll.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Now you went too far.
Atta girl. All right, see? There it is. We're back to Cowboy. Poor Cowboy, man. The hell happened to him?
According to the Bleacher Report, Donald Cerrone says his eye injury didn't result in any broken bones during UFC 238 TKO like people are saying it did.
That's pretty wild. I thought his nose broke for sure.
Yeah. And, well, there was an article that came out that said he broke his orbital bone, but I guess that is not true. Tony Ferguson defeated Donald Cerrone by TKO last weekend at UFC 238 in a bloody battle that left Cerrone in rough shape after ringside physicians determined he was unfit to continue following the second round. But the MMA fighter took to Instagram on Tuesday to confirm that he didn't break any bones.
How the hell did you not break anything?
I don't know.
I mean, how do you show this much damage? And his nose looked like it was sideways at one point, and his swelling and everything. How the hell did this happen?
Well, let me tell you what he said.
All right.
He says, I'm in good health. Thanks for all the messages and concerns. Only air was in my eye. No broken bones, nor cracked or broken orbital. Sitting and waiting for the rematch or next fight. Per Mark Ramundi of ESPN.com, UFC President Dana White originally said at the post-fight presser that Cerrone had suffered a broken orbital. So Mark Ramundi's lying to everybody.
Oh, he's a little manlet. By the way, St. Louis, huge save.
I know. I saw that.
Oh, my God. This kid is he is the MVP of this one for sure. St. Louis is still up 2-0, but Boston is throwing everything at this goalie, and he's just stopping anything that comes his way. All right, back to Cowboys, sorry.
A rematch between Cerrone and Ferguson would be intriguing. Cerrone is 36-12-1 and has earned Fight of the Night honors in his last 4 matchups, 3 of them wins. While the loss set him back in his quest for a lightweight title match, the belt is held by arguably the best fighter in the sport, Khabib Nurmagomedov. It's still possible Cerrone could work his way back up to the lightweight ranks.
Well, listen, I mean, how much more? How much more Cowboy are we going to get? I mean, it doesn't look like he's stopping anytime soon. He's 6? How old is he? 36 years old? Somewhere around there. And he's having fun. He's having a grand old time. I don't know about running it back. During the fight, I was like, yeah, they should run this back. But I think Tony has bigger fish to fry, you know, or fish to fry.
Fish to fry.
Oh, fuck this. I'm watching the hockey game.
I know. I can't even.
I'm so trying to multitask, and I apologize.
I was reading while watching it.
To the people that are listening on Podbean and iTunes. Thank you for listening. But there is a hockey game with 9:35 left, 2-0. St. Louis is very close to getting their first ever Stanley Cup in Boston. And if you look at the seats, they are all, look at the fans, Jess. They are all just sitting there like, you could see the tension. We don't have the volume on. I wish we could have the volume blasting right now. But they are just intense. Like, fuck, we're about to lose, you know? Still a lot of time left in this game. But 2 goals, and the way this goalie is playing, man, Moss pulling a Cowboy and quitting the show mid-show for this fucking hockey game. Kainoto, I quit in the beginning. If you were here early, you need to be in attendance early. But yeah, we started off the show with hockey. I mean, this is, if you're not watching this, I feel bad. I feel bad for you because this sport, this is the mecca right here. The Stanley Cup Finals, Game 7, a team that's never won the cup against an original 6 team. You won't see playoff action. Oh, they just scored. The Blues go up 3-0. A one-timer gets past Boston. Oh, that is it. Stick a fork in them. Oh, man. Wow. 8:35 left in the third. Damn. Boston's fucked. Good job. Oh, look at that one-timer. Oh, my God. No one's stopping that. Pass trickles through. Bink. Hits the corner. Beautiful. All right. Well, this game's pretty much wrapped up. Next story, Jesse.
According to BJPenn.com, former KSW champ Mamed Khalidov has been arrested by anti-terrorism police.
Well, judging from this picture, I'm not surprised.
Wonderful.
That's extremely stereotypical.
That's terrible, Jesse. You shouldn't be saying things like that.
Former KSW middleweight and light heavyweight champ Mehmed Khalidov, who retired after back-to-back losses in late 2018, has found his way back into the headlines for reasons unrelated to his fighting career. According to a report from Polish outlet tvp.info, Khalidov was recently arrested by the Anti-Terrorist Operations Office in Poland for allegedly forging documents related to the illegal importation of luxury cars.
What?
Per RT.com.
How do you get wrapped up in that?
I don't know. The cars were apparently purchased in the Czech Republic before being illegally imported into Poland.
He was importing Hyundais, Jesse, Korean cars.
It's unclear why this alleged crime fell under the jurisdiction of the Anti-Terrorism Unit. Per RT.com's report, a statement from the National Public Prosecutor's Office read this. On the orders of the prosecutor of the Silesian Branch Office of the Department for Organized Crime and Corruption of the National Prosecutor's Office in Katowice, officers detained Mehmed K. on the luxury car pickup. In the course of the proceedings, the prosecutor of the Silesian Branch Office of the Department of Organized Crime and Corruption of the National Prosecutor's Office in Katowice determined that the vehicles were purchased in the Czech Republic. Among the luxury cars, there were such vehicles as Porsche Panamera, Range Rover Evoque, BMW M6, BMW 7 Series. There's also a video of his arrest below, but mind you, it's blurry and you can't really tell what's going on, so I'm not really sure if it's worth the watch.
No, I'll put it on. All right, I don't know. Should we put the sound on?
No, I wouldn't. You can't really see.
Is it blurry? It doesn't look like the camera's blurry. It looks like they just blurred it to protect the people.
Yeah.
So this is them going after him?
Yeah, this is them arresting him.
It looks like the fucking video when they went after Bin Laden, for God's sakes. What the hell? What the hell's going on here? What is up with this guy? What is he doing? Well, how do you get wrapped up in this shit? I know the UFC doesn't pay well, but Jesus Christ, what? All right, let's see. All right. Go get him, Polish. Get him, Poles. Wow, look at this. They are all suited up. You can't really see because it's blurry. This looks like the beginning of a beheading video. Better take it off the screen because YouTube is, you know how they are. Anyway.
Stop it.
Fucking assholes. All right, what else is in the news,
all right,
JBH?
According to MMAnews.com, Santiago Ponzinibbio says Darren Till was afraid to fight me. I
would be too, man. Ponzi's on a roll.
Yeah. Santiago Ponzinibbio is a week removed from surgery to resolve a bacterial infection in his blood, so he has no choice but to do what he has been doing since last fall, wait for his next opponent. Ponzinibbio last competed last November in the headliner of UFC Argentina, defeating Neil Magny in the event's headliner. Since then, the Argentinian has been very consistent about whom he placed atop his wish list for his next opponent. Former welterweight title challenger Rafael Dos Anjos. The problem, according to Dos Anjos, is that the UFC refuses to give Ponzinibbio an opponent ranked higher than him after turning down a fight with Darren Till at UFC London. In a recent interview, Ponzinibbio denied this claim, saying, quote, "This is bullshit. The first guy that turned down the fight with Darren Till is himself, not me. The UFC needed him for London, and they put another guy. They put Jorge Masvidal. Till was scared to fight me. He don't like the fight with me. He knows if he fights with me, he will lose and have 3 losses in a row." Ponzinibbio would then cite a past incident to support his claim that Darren Till does not want to fight him by saying, quote, "When I fought in Argentina, Till said no, he can't go to Argentina. It's too far, blah, blah, blah. After my win over Magny, he said, I'd like to fight Ponzinibbio, and my manager talked to the UFC, and Till turned down the fight. He said nothing about the fight. He don't like the fight with me. He was scared."
Yeah, Ponzinibbio versus Till would be fun, but I rest in peace, Till. I keep on putting it on this. Ponzinibbio sits at number 9 over here at welterweight, and the reason why he sits here is it feels like he never fights. You know, like when the hell was the last time this guy fought? He never fights. He is 28-3-0. Impressive record, Ponzinibbio. But I feel like he fights like once every 2 years. Here's the Magny fight, and this was November 17, 2018. Then you have that Mike Perry fight, December 16, 2017. He's a little more active in 2017. But Ponzinibbio, you know, he's beaten some decent guys, and he's on a nice little run. But I mean, Darren Till coming off a loss and then jumping down to number 9. If I were Darren Till, I would do the same thing, right? I would say, no, fuck you. I'm not gonna do that. It's not an easy fight. It's not a fight that makes sense. It's not worth the risk. But doesn't the UFC have the last say?
Yes, they do. And the UFC doesn't really
Just run back Darren Till Thompson. What are we doing? That's the fight to make.
Is it though?
Yeah, that's the fight to make.
I mean, it is.
Give Ponzi RDA. Give Ponzi, I don't know.
Well, that's what they were saying, was Ponzi wants RDA, but they won't give it to him because he never fought Darren Till, and they won't give him a higher-ranked fighter until he fights Till. But Till was too scared, so now it's like Ponzi's stuck.
So give Ponzi's Thompson. Give him Stephen Thompson as his penance for losing to Anthony Pettis. Imagine, what about Ponzinibbio Pettis? But even though Pettis has a dance partner already, so that's not going to happen. Nice glove save. I don't know. Let me think. So Darren Till, what should be next for Till? I still like the Wonderboy rematch. Even though the fight was asked the first time. I say run that shit back. Because everything else is kind of locked up over here. Tyron Woodley sitting at top. What the fuck is he going to do? What is it? Robbie's sitting at number 10. Are they going to run that thing back again? They said they were going to run that back. Oh, 170 is kind of a mishmash over here. You got these 155ers going up. All right, let's figure this out. Colby Covington should be fighting Usman, but that's not set in stone. Maybe they will solidify Woodley versus Robbie. Maybe that will happen. Then you have RDA sitting around. What about RDA versus Woodley?
What?
Why not make that fight? Woodley off the loss. But yeah, why not make that fight? That's the fight to make. RDA versus Woodley. It was going to happen at one point anyway.
All right.
Right? Colby Covington fights Usman. Masvidal is already fighting Askren. Darren Till fights Thompson.
Again?
Yeah. That's what I want to see.
Okay.
That's it. That's my concoction. What's your concoction,
No, I
Jesse?
think that's a good concoction. I'd have to agree with you.
You're just agreeing because you're watching the hockey game.
Yes.
That's what I'm going to go with, looking at that.
All right.
I want to see RDA versus Woodley. Although, wait, hold on a second. Yeah, RDA just came off of the Kevin Lee win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, did throw that.
But
right?
Ponzinibbio wants RDA.
Ponzinibbio's got to fucking, I don't know what he's got to fight. Fight Pettis. Fight whoever wins the Diaz fight.
He wants a higher ranked fighter because he's looking to move up quick.
Fuck, Ponzinibbio's screwed. Unless they set him up with Wonderboy. I don't know who's sitting out over here.
They've got to give him Till, but like you said, Till's too scared to take the fight.
Till has no leverage right now.
I'd be scared too.
And then that leaves Thompson in limbo. Fuck. This is a mess. 170's messy.
Yeah.
I'm kind of not. I mean, there's some decent matchups here, but it's a messy division. We just make the Usman versus Covington fight happen, and then we can discuss, right? Let's see what the chat says.
Kevin from Chicago.
I called on Jesse at class. All right, let's see what the chat says.
DB Cooper says that would be perfect infinite. Kevin from out of nowhere with a spinning elbow. Ian was cracked, says Jessica G. Real says 4-0. Don't spoil it, Real man. Come on.
Is it? Did they just score?
I don't know. But why would you
hold on.
spoil
This is
that
probably.
shit?
Oh shit! There it is. The one-timer again.
Why would you spoil that?
What do you mean spoil that?
He spoiled it.
4-0. Oh, this is a beating. A complete ass rape. So here's the deal, guys. And thank you for hanging with us. 115 people hanging with the boys.
Hanging with the boys.
We do have the Stanley Cup Finals happening right here. Let's watch this again. St. Louis just went up 4-0. Look at this. Oh, that move and that pass. No shot. Boston just gave up. Oh my goodness. This is a rape, Jesse. We're witnessing a rape. Boston is getting raped right now. 4-0 in hockey is pretty devastating, especially with 5 minutes left in the game or 4 minutes left in the game. They're showing. Look at this, the Enterprise Center. Look at this shit in St. Louis. Oh my God, where is this? Is this the Cardinal Stadium?
Busch Stadium.
That's awesome. Wow, St. Louis. I told you, man. Her brother lives in St. Louis, and I told her, I was like, he's got to be partying right now. Damn, I love that. I love watching that shit. You know, everyone getting together and just, instead of people just fucking picking fights with each other, everyone getting together and rallying for their team. You don't see that in New York because fucking Met fan, Yankee fans, and Ranger and Islander fans all hate each other. Although I did do it for the Rangers when they were away in the playoffs. I did go to the Garden. Oh, shit, they almost scored again. Oh, my God. The pepper in the net. All right. Anyway, how much time? 4:05 left in this game. With a minute left, we're just going to take you through that. But let's get back into the news over here.
Okay.
Big night, man. Stanley Cup Finals. Game 7.
According to MMA Fighting, Corey Anderson blasts bitch heart Anthony Smith and calls on him to knuckle up. At the beginning of the month, Anthony Smith got the biggest win of his career, submitting Alexander Gustafsson with a 4-round rear naked choke at UFC Stockholm. The win silenced the critics of Smith, who were of the opinion that his successful run at light heavyweight was a result of favorable matchmaking and not of Smith's accent to the elite levels of the game.
This guy just called him bitch heart.
Yes. Among those critics
Puffy nipples for the win.
Among those critics was 8th-ranked light heavyweight contender Corey Anderson. When Smith received a title shot against Jon Jones, Anderson was quick to decry Lionheart as the fighter who hadn't earned his stripes in the division. After submitting perennial contender Gustafsson, those arguments carry much less water, and Smith responded to his critics as a result, saying that Anderson and Luke Rockhold, almost the most vocal Smith haters in MMA, would now have to earn a fight against him. Well, it took a little while, but that comment did not sit well with Anderson. Taking to Twitter yesterday, Overtime blasted Smith for his comments, comparing their resumes at 205 pounds, mocking Smith's performance against Jon Jones, and saying that he has already earned, or more than earned it. Now, if you scroll, you can see these comments by Corey Anderson. He started off saying, I come back from vacay to this. Allow me to retort. At Lionheart Smith, unlike your buddy Luke Rockhold, I've been doing stuff in this division since I signed in 14 fights, 12 of which were ranked 9, of which I dominated. One notable win, and you talkin'? Hashtag bitchheart, hashtag UFC 238, hashtag fight me. He followed that up with another tweet saying 3 of your 4 wins weren't even relevant. You were just a pretty face, so to say for them to put some hype behind so they could feed you to Jones and he could put you on his lap and spank you like a 3-year-old child. Lionheart, you literally sat on the canvas in a fetal position and got punched on the toughest thing you did was not to take the DQ. Other than get the F out of here, calling my name unless you gonna knuckle up. You were a punching bag for Volkan Ozdemir. Then he gassed in the 4th, and Alex the Mauler was saucing you up as well.
Wow.
But he also lacked on the ground. But we both know you aren't taking me down. You can't deal with my movement, and you know 100% I'm not gonna gas. So all in all, I don't talk shit. I state facts. Don't speak my name unless you signing on the dotted line. Hashtag UFC 238. Earned it. About that life.
Okay, let's go to light heavyweight. Man, oh man, where am I going? I'm going the wrong way. Let's go to light heavyweight over here. Corey Anderson, the Nips. Puffy Nips Anderson. Calling out Anthony Smith after he beats Gustafsson. Gustafsson says he's retired, but he's still on this rankings, which is surprising to me. Corey Anderson, number 8, and why not? Why not go after Anthony Smith, right? Shoot at the guys up top, and hopefully someone bites. Doesn't make sense for Smith, but at this moment, you have Santos versus Jones. Gustafsson's gone. Dominic Reyes. I mean, I think Anthony Smith is, I think Corey Anderson, he's trying a little too hard here. Although I believe Corey beats him. I do believe Corey beats him, but I think he's jumping up a little too high over here.
Look at the goalie for Boston. He's like sitting out.
Yeah, it's called pulling the goalie. There's 4 goals here and 3 minutes and 10 seconds left in the game. So Boston has just pulled their goalie, and they put in extra.
He has his head in his hand like that.
Oh, he got fucked up. Well, it's not his fault. The team played like complete trash. I mean, I'm sorry. They didn't play like trash. Boston actually played pretty good. They just ran into a wall. St. Louis goalie was playing fantastic. So I can't say they play like trash. But the last 2 goals, the defense kind of gave up here. So Boston has an extra skater with 2 minutes and 55 seconds. We're going to take you to the final seconds of this Stanley Cup Game 7. I mean, man, in hockey, what is there? 80-something games, right? Then you have to go through a playoff. And the amount of effort, if you look at hockey shifts, they're like literally like 30-second shifts. Sometimes if you're lucky, you can squeeze 45 to a minute out of these players. But it's so intense. It's so fast-paced. It's physical. They hit each other. They fight. There's so much that goes into being a hockey player. And going through these long seasons and then a playoff run and then losing to a Game 7, fighting back and losing in a Game 7 in your own building. Oh, shit, they just scored, Boston. There we go, 4-1. Thanks to the extra attacker. Well, that gives them some life. No comeback this year. I've never watched a hockey game ever, says Jeremiah. I'm telling you, man, it's a crazy sport. If you watch like Stanley Cup Finals, it can change you. It really could. It can make you a fan. This is like a knuckle puck. Wow, hits off the crossbar right in. Nice goal. So now we got a 4-1 game. What's up, Two Joints? Hockey is more exciting than basketball. I can see the hockey playoffs. I'm telling you, a lot of people might be offended by this. Is the best playoffs than any sport out there. Than even football. I love the football playoffs. I love the Super Bowl. The whole, But the excitement in a hockey game, especially a playoff game, is so different. Now this is a 4-1 game. The Blues are playing to just kind of milk the clock.
He's
right now.
hiding the puck in his skates.
Yeah, they're just fucking. Don't be surprised if you see a brawl happen here. All right, so they pulled the goalie. There we go. The gentleman that came out off the bench, the extra attacker, is playing the puck around the boards. 1 minute and 38 seconds left. Empty net Boston. They just scored a goal to cut it down to 3 goals. Shoot gets blocked. Now, here's the deal. The Blues, they can't just shoot it down the ice. If they do, that would be an icing. So they can't see he shoots it down, but gets blocked. See right here? This is going to be an icing. Oh, it's going on net. Nope. That shit almost went in the fucking net. So now what happens here is a face-off in St. Louis's zone. 1:14 left.
Every time there's an icing, there's a face-off.
So, guys, thanks for joining us. We're going to get back into the news. And you know what? Maybe we'll go a little bit longer here because we are watching the NHL Playoffs. This is the Stanley Cup Finals. The Blues are very close to winning their first Stanley Cup ever. I might even put the sound on a little bit here so we can hear what the hell is going on. Mike Emmerich is the play-by-play guy. He's one of the best in the game. He's 70-something years old, and he still has the excitement that he did in his younger years. Here we go. Dumps it out. 1 minute left. Oh, fuck. This is going to be some good shit. Here we go, Jess. 52 seconds left. If you're just jumping in, we're going to get back into MMA news, but we just want to take you through 52 seconds. 4-1 St. Louis over Boston in Boston. They're about to win their first Stanley Cup.
Every time there's an icing, there's a face-off?
Icing, yes. And the face-off, whoever iced the puck, whoever dumped it down the ice, the face-off is in their zone. That's their penalty. And they can't do a line change. But that wasn't an icing, though. That might have been I don't know what that was. I missed it, but they faced off outside the zone. Here we go. So Boston has the puck with 44 seconds left. St. Louis is trying to play keep away right now just to win this game. Boston's trying to play around the puck. 34 seconds left. A shot goes wide. That one's wide again. Boston is hanging on by a thread right now. With 25 seconds, the puck gets knocked out of the zone. So every player has to reset and go back in. They dump it in. Dump and chase. Boston tries to attack. St. Louis tries to drive it around. They keep it in. Boston keeps it in at the blue line. The puck is deep in St. Louis's zone. And they clear it out. Oh, boy. 6 seconds left. We have an icing. 4 seconds left. Oh, no, that's not icing. The St. Louis Blues have just won the Stanley Cup. Here we go. The final, 4-1. St. Louis wins. Wow. Holy shit.
Wow.
And you're going to see the disappointment. There's some players on the Bruins that were playing since I was like a lot younger. Man, oh man. Could you imagine the feeling in your own building? And there we go. St. Louis just won the Stanley Cup. The crying, the tears of the Bruins. These are some of the toughest guys in the world. Chara, there are some guys on this Boston team that are some of the toughest players in the world, and they are just bawling like babies right now. This is how you know it's emotional. Man. There you go. There you go. Party in St. Louis, baby. Yeah. Any St. Louis people in the chat? I mean, you're probably not watching this if you're in St. Louis, but so now what's going to happen is they're going to bring out Lord Stanley, the cup, and they're going to skate around. The players pass it around. They put it over their head. The cup's about 400 pounds, so you're going to watch them struggle. They always shake hands at the end of these games to show respect. And there we go, Jess. You got to see your first ever Stanley Cup. Only black people in St. Louis. I'm in St. Louis. Richard, are you? Congratulations. Kevin come back with an upper. What is Jessica talking about? She's doing play-by-play to something. I don't know. What is she doing play-by-play to? I don't know. Let's go back to MMA. We will. I want to show Jesse the Stanley Cup, and then we will get back into the news over here. But, man, oh, man. All right, let's get to another story and when the Cup gets trotted around. Game 7 for the Cup is huge. I don't think people understand. The people that are afraid to watch the hockey game right now are the people who are afraid that they're going to get into hockey. So I wouldn't. If you don't want to get into a sport, don't watch it. But now they're just going to celebrate. It sucks for Boston, man. If I was a Boston fan, I'd be fucking miserable right now. If this is the Rangers and I saw them lose in a Game 7 at home, I'd be miserable. All right, when was the last time the Bruins won the Cup? That's good. They have a bunch of cups, but I don't remember the last time. You should know. You're from Boston, Mike. I don't watch gay men's sports like hockey, NBA, NBL, NFL, etc. It's the Kenshiro. Ken, I'm telling you right now, I broke a lot of bones playing this sport.
That goalie is the reason that team won.
Yeah. St. Louis. Look at the size difference between Chara and the assistant captain of the Blues. It's like a manlet. All right. It was 2010. Thank you, Duke Chronic. Appreciate it. Hockey's the best. You kick the shit out of the guys. You don't want to. You don't go to jail. Yeah. It's the only sport, like the only professional sport other than like, mixed martial arts or boxing, that you could fight each other. You can fight each other. Like, it's the only sport that you could actually drop your gloves and beat the fuck out of your opponent. And you just go get a 5-minute penalty. Or sometimes a double, sometimes you get an instigator penalty. But still, you can still play. If you're an MMA fan, this would probably be the gateway sport for you. Can't really fight in any other sport. Basketball, I've said it a million times. You should be able to fight in basketball. You should be able to fight. It's ridiculous. They should have a penalty box in basketball. All right, let's get back into the news, Jesse. Let's get to another story, and we can talk about Lord Stanley being hoisted around. What do we got after Cordy Anderson? Uh-oh.
According to BJPenn.com, Conor McGregor once again places on the list of highest paid athletes. Former 2-division UFC champ Conor McGregor has once again... What are they all doing here? Why are they all holding up their sticks?
So this is it's an old tradition. The Rangers do it too. They just... they're just giving their fans a little respect. The Boston is just... They're gathering together. They're going to throw their sticks up in the air. And, just for the fans for showing up, That's it. All right, she's mesmerized. We have a new hockey fan over here.
Former 2-division UFC champ Conor McGregor has once again earned a spot on Forbes' list of highest paid athletes in the world. The Irish MMA star didn't place in the top 10 this year, instead coming at number 21 with $47 million in earnings. McGregor's former opponent, a longtime rival Floyd Mayweather, who held the number 1 spot last year, has vanished from the list altogether. The top spot is now occupied by Lionel Messi, while other names in the top 10 include Cristiano Ronaldo, Neymar, Canelo Alvarez, Roger Federer, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Steph Curry. No other UFC fighters appear on the list, though boxers like Gennady Golovkin or Triple G, Anthony Joshua, and Deontay Wilder do. Per Forbes, Conor McGregor and fellow athletes are earning more now than ever before.
Well, that's one thing, you can complain about, the whole super fight, double champ thing. Now everyone wants to be a double champ, right? You can complain about the rankings being dismantled. But one thing that Conor did bring is, he brought paychecks. If you're an upper echelon fighter or if you're a big name, you get paid. Conor did do things like that, and hopefully... other fighters get these deals, their whiskey deals or whatever the fuck they want to sell. I'm hoping that other fighters get paid more because mixed martial artists, it's ridiculous. You've noticed, though, they are getting, Henry Cejudo made almost $1 million for his last fight, with the bonuses and stuff like that. So, I mean, they're getting paid more. They're still not getting boxing money, but hopefully it goes up. Hopefully they make more. And good job, Conor, I guess. Who cares? Just get back in the cage. Fuck.
All right. According to MMAnews.com, John Fitch explains why he is the backup fighter at Bellator 222. In the main event of Bellator 222, the welterweight title is on the line as Rory McDonald looks to defend it against Neiman Gracie. There, the winner will also advance to the finals of the welterweight Grand Prix. But given McDonald's comments after his controversial draw to John Fitch, where he said he can't hurt anyone anymore, Bellator is taking precaution for this fight. They've brought in Fitch to serve as a backup fighter, sources told MMA News, meaning the 41-year-old will weigh in on Thursday, and if anything happens to the main event, he steps in. Why John Fitch was brought in was simple. Quote, they asked me to be ready in case Rory didn't show. Just weigh in and see what happens. However, Bellator told MMA News that McDonald and Gracie are in New York City and the fight is still on, so the only way Fitch gets in is if either McDonald or Gracie miss weight. Fitch, as mentioned, is coming off the draw to McDonald. Before that, he beat Paul Daly by decision in his first Bellator fight.
So Fitch should be the one fighting. He should be in there instead of Roy McDonald. Roy McDonald should be the backup fighter for this fight. He won. Well, what are you going to do? I don't think anyone cares, right?
That's not the Stanley Cup.
That is not the Stanley Cup, Jesse. That is not.
What is that?
They have multiple trophies in hockey. I'll get into that after the stream. Don't worry. We'll any questions you have, we'll go into it after the stream. But they have ceremonies beforehand, and they'll be hoisting Lord Stanley very shortly. This is Gary Bettman, and he's a real piece of work. They like to boo him. All right, here we go. Another story in the news. Mackenzie Dern. What? She gave birth?
Yeah, she gave birth.
What?
Yep. According to MMA Fighting, Mackenzie Dern announces the birth of her daughter. She had her first kid Sunday. She hasn't ruled out a return to the octagon in the future. Announced her daughter Moa. Her birth is on a recent Instagram post. On the post it said, quote, our daughter Moa is here June 9th at 8:25 p.m. A little late, stubborn, American-Brazilian, beautiful, perfect, God's gift, and our family's biggest pride. Delivery was smooth, and I had the most important people by my side. Welcome here, my baby girl. We love you so much. And then she wrote a bunch of other stuff.
That kid flew out of her pussy, Jesse.
Yeah?
Yeah, flew right out of that pussy. Now she says she wants to pop the kid out and get back into the cage.
She wants to be the first mother champion.
Yeah, there's none. Who got the closest? Kat? Who was the closest mother champion?
That's a good question.
Juliana Pena's coming back, right? You have Karate Hottie, who popped out a kid. I don't think he's ever going to be a mother champion. Not in my lifetime.
I don't know.
Can't do it. I don't know. Nor do I care. All right. Here it is. Lord Stanley coming out. I don't know who won the Conn Smythe. I have no idea. But Lord Stanley with the white gloves, Jesse. Look at this trophy. I want one. So fun fact, each player gets the trophy for like a couple of days or some shit like that. And they bring it to bars and all drink out of it. Everyone's sipping out of it. Hookers are pissing in it. And they dump it all over their bodies.
Super chat.
Super chat. Niall Flanagan.
Acumen.
You guys are sounding very professional these days. Proud of ye.
Professional. Thank you, Niall Flanagan. Appreciate it.
Wonderful.
I do appreciate the kind words. There we go. They should have Gary Bettman sing.
Why is everyone booing?
They hate him. It's just like the dude from in football. I forgot his name.
Why does he keep doing it if everyone hates him?
It's just ridiculous.
What did he do wrong?
And it's kind of become a tradition too. But well, it's he's ruined the sport. You know, they don't like what he says in interviews. My friend was a producer for one of his shows. He had a radio show.
The poor man's shaking. They probably gave him a fucking heart attack.
He's been booed so much he doesn't give a shit. Anyway, if you jump it in, the Blues won the Stanley Cup. Was it 4-1? Was the final score?
Yeah.
And they are celebrating in Boston. So apologies to my Boston people out there. If you are, hockey fans, that's got to be brutal. I mean, I couldn't imagine going all the way this way. My Rangers lost in 2014 in the Stanley Cup Finals, but not like this. I mean, this got to rip your heart out. Here we go. They're giving them the trophy, Jess. You ready? Sparkly poos in the background. And there they are. All right, they're going to skate around the ring now. I've been at this like 15 minutes dedicated. I like it. So Jeremiah likes it. DB stay in tonight. They might fuck some shit up after this. Goddamn Hebrew Hammer is relentless. Ortiz got blasted in Cuba. Yeah, could you believe that shit? What the fuck happened there? I heard some shady shit went down. There they go. They're going to kiss the cup, Jess. They're going to pass it around. That thing weighs 470 pounds, the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, it sure looks like it. Them holding it.
They're just very strong, these athletes. All right, what else do we have in the news as we are completely sidetracked tonight?
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Holy shit. So we got through a lot. If you're jumping in, this is true, though. If you're like, where is the Khabib versus Poirier news? Oh, yes, this happened. This fucking happened. They fell asleep. This is not fake news. They completely fell asleep during the press conference. And, yeah. All right. Let's get some comments from the chat. See what the peoples are doing over here.
Two Joint says, shot 3 times in Boston Hospital now, Moss. Life
Yeah,
Logic says, shot by his
Ortiz.
own people. Bots Kogar says, how many winning teams have drunkenly taken a dump in that big cup?
Who knows? God knows. They should write a book on what the craziest things people have done with the Stanley Cup. I mean, you need some serious Purell with that thing. Just lugging it around to bars. And then they give it to fans and they sip out of it and shit. Like, it's so unsanitary. How many people came on? How much jizz is on that cup? I would shoot a load. I would take the cup home and shoot a big batch into it and let it harden up and then send it to the next guy.
That is pretty cool. I mean,
it's great. It's this trophy here, whether I don't care what sport you like, but this trophy is the most impressive trophy in all of sports. I don't care what anyone says. It's a pretty wild trophy. All right, in the chat, I have a question for you guys. I know MMA is your first love. Everyone loves MMA in this chat, and that's why we're here. We're a bunch of MMA-holes. But if there is another sport, what would be your second, your number 2 sport? What would it be? If God forbid, and let me knock on wood, if everything folds, any combat sport, like, no, it can't happen anymore. You're not allowed to watch that. It's too vicious. It's too violent. We don't want to, no one's going to allow it anywhere. Not even under the ground you can watch it. What is the next sport? Do you watch soap operas? What is the next sport? Let us know in the chat. I'd love to know. Jesse, what would yours be?
baseball.
Baseball? Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be my last. I like baseball, but that's my last.
I love baseball.
All right, let's see what they say.
Lawn bowling. Football for TV, hockey live. Right now, nothing. Wrestling, porno. Uphill Burke biking, racing. Kevin is out. Ian puts Kevin out. NBA, ultimate surrender, strongman competition, pool, NASCAR, real football, soccer. Get to the light heavyweights. Cormier Jones 3 is only 5 people want. Porno and basketball, nothing.
Is
Lawn
that the
darts.
So Cormier versus Jones 3.
I want Walker Jones.
Well, here's the thing. Cormier has Stipe. If he beats Stipe, right? He beats Stipe again. I don't think he does retire. And the Jones thing has to be the fight. The trilogy fight. It's not really a trilogy fight, but I mean, the third fight has to go down. But John just wants it at light heavyweight, and DC says he'll meet him back over there. Is that the only fight that people want to see? Now you say Walker, right? That's the one you want.
That's the one I want because I think it'd be fascinating. I don't think Walker's deserving of it yet, but I would like to see him get up there, and I just feel that could be an extremely fascinating fight. And I also wonder if maybe he is the kryptonite to Jones.
Imagine Santos knocks out John Jones, and then we don't have to talk about any of this shit. If Santos knocks out John Jones, Cormier, after the Stipe fight, just retires.
You think he's going to knock out Jones?
No, I don't. But if that happens, that's a wrap. That is a wrap. Light heavyweight, see you later. John Jones versus DC, you'll never see again. Some people do want to see it. In the chat, do you want to see it again? Like, I know we're kind of split up, and maybe we'll do a community poll on that. Do you want to see Jones versus DC3? Do you want to see that? I'm curious in the chat. I'm at the point right now where I don't need it. I'd rather see it at heavyweight. That would make more sense. Because it happened twice at light heavy, and he did lose. I mean, I know you took the second loss away, but he did lose DC the second one, and he got knocked out too. But the picograms, I don't fucking know. Let me know. I vote for heavyweight. That's the only way I want to see that again. Let's see what the chat says.
Mr. Relaxation ASMR says, I want to see it, light heavyweight or heavyweight. Jessica G says, the Ian Love experience in that third round, it looked like he hurt you. You stayed composed. You stayed calm. You stuck to your game plan. You were too much for Kevin. Sean Hart says, in reality, it shouldn't be a trilogy. Yes, says Michelle Calkins. Boss Coker says, DC lost harder the second time. No. Jack Mayer says, if Askren wins, Masvidal should fight Lawler. T-Bird says, heavyweight. DB Cooper, I'd rather see it at heavyweight. Kolvik says, no. The Shadow Man says, I do not wish to see a grown man cry again. DB Cooper says, be right back. Chrome T Dump says, Jones has somehow avoided heavy hitter for pretty much his whole career. This will be a test for him. Sneaky Smurf says John Jones versus Stipe heavyweight. Blah. Live and Logic says no crying in MMA. My guess is baseball. Earth Prospector, full contact, backgammon. Sean Hart says we taking calls, Moss and JBH. Now we're wrapping it up here. Now Flanagan says Jones admitted feeling uncertain about fighting DC at heavyweight, but that could be a ploy. Ducronic says Burub. Jonathan Wilberding, I don't care, still want to see Johnny Walker knock out Jones. Internal says DC will not fight Jones. Dynamo Gaiman says fuck you.
Fuck you.
All right.
So that's it. So the Stanley Cup has wound down. We did watch St. Louis Blues win that Stanley Cup, so congratulations to the Blues fans, and sorry for the Boston fans out there. We got through all the news tonight.
Yes,
and
good night. Good streaming night.
Yeah, not too shabby. Now
let's go get some donuts.
You want to get donuts? Jesse likes the donuts. I say this. Let's stay on for maybe 5 more minutes. Nothing crazy. 5 more minutes. Let's just talk to the chat. Let's bullshit. What is on your mind? And then we're going to wind this shit down. We're going to finish this shit up. We're going to be live for Bellator 222 Friday. Fugar Friday is back. You excited about Fugar Friday, the return?
Yes.
You don't like going past your time. You don't you don't like overtime.
I have a clock in my head.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, I feel like we did devote a lot of time to hockey tonight. So I say
I deserved it.
Yeah, you like it now.
I like it.
All right. I feel this, like if we should start a hockey channel on the side, and then once you're sick of that, we'll do another channel on something else.
I don't think I would get sick of hockey.
Do you think so? Now that you're watching hockey, do you still think baseball is your number 2? Baseball, I can't get you to sit through one baseball game.
What do you mean? We
like
never
anytime
put
we watch
baseball on.
Yeah, I know, but when we watch like at my parents or if we're somewhere,
I'll sit there and watch it.
Yeah, you're not like, I don't see like you kind of like looking
it's not
around.
My team, I mean.
So it could only be your team if you're interested.
Yeah, I'm interested whether it's my team or not, but it's like one of those I could give or take things if it's not my team. But yeah, I like baseball. I like sitting there watching baseball. I'm not like this. I was glued to the TV.
And you didn't have any horse in this race.
Yeah, it was really fascinating. So maybe one day
Hockey's a good sport.
Baseball.
All right, let's see what the chat says. Let's talk to the peoples. Let's talk. Let's learn about the MMA-Holes in this community right now.
Infinite Conscious says Moss is going to put a donut on his cock and JBH is going to eat it off.
Whoa!
Wonderful.
That is wonderful.
Interesting.
You want to try that?
Yeah.
Okay. I like watching hockey. Don't like talking about hockey, says Life and Logic. So just likes to watch. That's it.
Okay. I mean, to each their own, I guess. However you enjoy it.
I have a problem with, before this channel, like me and my friends, when I had friends, now I don't really talk to them much. But when I did talk to them, all we would talk about is sports. When we all had off, we would just sit around. We would go to the bar, or even if we're at a coffee shop or some shit like that. We would just sit there for hours and talk about sports until we couldn't talk about sports anymore. And I guess that's why we do something like this. But I don't know what it is. There's something about sports that just brings everyone together, you know? What are you watching now, Jess? Who's someone getting beaten up? What's that? All right, let's turn this. Yeah. Okay. It's like a cat with a laser pointer. All right, we'll turn that off. But what do you think about this now? Like, you always enjoyed sports, right? You always. Growing up, you played softball and stuff.
Yeah.
So you always enjoyed sports. But what do you think about now, like being in something that we're always talking about sports? Do you, and I notice when we have conversations with family and stuff like that, you find yourself talking about mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
Is that weird to you?
A little bit, because MMA was never in my list of favorite sports. It was always the normal football, baseball, those kinds of things. But it's getting less and less weird to talk about. Like, the more comfortable I become talking about it, the less weird it is, I guess. I like it. I like that I add sports to my list, that I can talk about it and know what I'm talking about,
Well, yeah. I mean, you've learned a lot in a short amount of time, and it was funny. We were watching. I don't know if you guys saw this, but it was the thing on the Fertittas and Dana White, and the history of how the UFC came about, and not came about. It was how the three of them took over the UFC, and the hard times and the good times, and the $44 million that Dana White re-asked. It's funny when everyone says that the Fertitta brothers bought the UFC for $2 million. That's not really how much they bought it for. You know, like they dumped another $44 million into it, you know, after they bought it. They invested a lot of money after the fact, but still selling it for $4 billion, they made out fine. But it's funny, like they were about to completely just say, forget it. Let's just turn our backs on this. This was a bust. And they, you know, Dana White and the Fertittas are like, fuck it, let's just go for it.
Yeah.
You know, sleeping on it the next day. It was a fascinating documentary about them. And without the Fertitta brothers, we wouldn't be where we are watching this sport. You know, now I'm curious to see what does the new regime bring. You still have Dana White, you know, up there. A lot of people don't like what he's done. But, I mean, if it wasn't for him, too, you wouldn't have what we have here. I'm curious to see what these new owners, though. Are they going to ruin it? Or are they going to make it better? Or is it just going to stay the same? What do you think after watching that documentary?
Sad. Like, I was watching Dana's reaction to it. And, like, all that growth, you know, between them and from the very beginning. It's kind of sad if you think about it. Like, them just giving up something that they all worked so hard at doing. But I don't know. I think that it's another symbol of growth for the UFC. So I'm not worried or anything. You know, it's going to be different. I think a lot of things are going to change over the next few years. But
you know, sometimes change is not bad. You know, sometimes it's not bad. Now, I'll tell you this: when Dana does decide to hang it up, and he's not, you know, he's a human being, so eventually he's going to be like, enough is enough. I don't. It's going to take a lot for him to stop because I think he enjoys this too much, and he doesn't need the money. Right? But when he does hang it up, who is going to be the face of the UFC? You know, like who's going to take over and kind of just UFC needs a face. And without Dana White, I don't know how the hell it would work. I really don't. It's one thing that the Fertittas aren't there and you see the difference in how the company is run, but without that face, that fucking dysfunctional press conference afterwards, watching, I wait for Dana, and he's the one I watch the most out of anyone. You know, so a lot of times the fighters are either their bell is rung too much to even put out a complete sentence after the fights. But Dana White sits there and he gives you some good cringe. Who's gonna do it? I don't want to see the day without Dana White. Conor McGregor.
When he takes a piece of the UFC.
Forrest Griffin will be the face. Well, he still has a couple of screws left, you know, in his head that you can tighten up, and maybe Forrest Griffin, and he does speak his mind. What about Matt Hughes, Mr. Trainwreck? I don't know who would be the face of the UFC, but they need someone. Chael Sonnen.
Rogan.
I don't think Joe Rogan would want that. Plus, he's not getting any younger either. But Chael Sonnen, at 42 years old, I don't know, man. Like, I like it though. Chael would be perfect. He's got such a good gig, you know, at ESPN now, but he's running around and doing all these podcasts. Chael would be a great pick. Wow. What about that? Chael's a good one. Give me some more people that you would like. I like Chael. I think that would be a perfect fit. Anyone jump into your head? To be the face of the UFC. It's got to be intelligent, got to have a little cringe to it, and be very knowledgeable about the sport. I think that's the criteria. You know, you don't want some lame ass being the face of the UFC. You want someone there that can, like, if you see a press conference without Dana, you're bored out of your mind. You know, you just want to turn this off. You don't want to be here. I see it in your eyes.
I didn't say anything.
I don't know. I see it in your eyes. Chuck Liddell? I don't know about Chuck. Let's see what the chat says.
The Shadow Man says Boss Rutan. Sean Hart says Chuck Liddell. Black Wizard says Ariel Helwani or Luke Thomas.
Imagine Luke Thomas.
This is Connor. Jared Smallbone, Eddie Bravo. White Neff says Ariel Helwani will take over. Let's be real. Kevin says Ian Love, are you a Netanya Huster? I don't know what you just said. Colvick says maybe Bruce Buffer. Kanoda74 says, didn't Shane McMahon push to become the face of the UFC? He's good.
That's possible. How old is he? How about Big Poppy after he recovers from his gunshots?
Sure.
Oh, maybe me. That's a good one, Sean. Should I take over? What do you think in the chat? Should I be the new face of the UFC? What do you think, Jess? Should I shave my head and get rid of the beard?
Yes.
Look like a cancer patient. I think I could do it. I think I can do it. I think I should be the new face of the UFC. I think I should put my name in the hat when Dana's gone. Yeah, I agree. What do you think? You don't think so?
I think you'd be great at it.
I sit down, start complaining about the refs. I think I could do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
super chat.
Life and logic.
How many times a week should you make whoopee?
Now, whoopee is sex or poop? What is that? I think it's sex, right? Oh, okay. How many times a week should you make sex?
Every day.
At least once a day, right? You should try to get it in once a day. Is that the consensus?
That's my consensus.
Or every other day? Because sometimes you got to recharge, you know?
I never have to recharge.
Well, you're 23 years old.
I'm good with once a day.
And you don't have sperm. That's why I don't think, at least. How many times? How many times should you have sex? Once a week? Once a month? Once a year? Let me know in the chat. What do you think? You're saying 3 times a day?
I said once a day.
Oh, once a day. Let's see what the chat says. What's the good number?
Sean Hart says, then Moss, as the face, you can ask us holes who you want to fight on every card.
That'd be great.
Staley says, use women for sex. Kainoda says, tonight was like roast battle chat fighting championship. Kevin says, Jesus called Jews the synagogue of Satan. Can you believe that? Real Rose says, Christians don't have sex before marriage. JBH is a sex addict. It's true. Micah says Trump. Butts Coker says whoopee is old people sex. Sean Hart says whenever you can. Internal says 5. Duke Chronic says 1 time a night after kids.
There you go. Put him to bed and go for it.
3 times a day says Infinite. 4 says Niall. Chrome D Dome says 5 days, twice each day.
Okay.
So 10 times a week. Now Flanagan says 6. Jeremiah says I only get it like 2 to 4 times a month. Whoa. Yikes.
Well,
Sorry,
I went
bro.
through a rut where I wasn't getting anything for a long time. So this is a nice change of pace for sure. Listen, people go through ruts, right? Peaks and valleys, right? Sometimes you nosedive into
You
no
said
land.
it, not me.
Yeah, I was getting nothing. Don't get married. Don't get. It's an instant. Yeah. What is it? The engagement ring, the wedding ring, and then the suffering. Right? The big 3. Right, Jess? Is that how it works?
I wouldn't know. I've never been engaged, married, or suffered.
9 more likes. All right, let's get 9 more likes up in this bitch, and then we're going to shut this shite down. Tomorrow, there is a premiere video, so make sure you schedule, you take time out of your day. It's going to be airing at 5 p.m. Eastern time, so it's going to be afternoon for some, so take it in your lunch break. Or, when you're getting out of work on the East Coast, you can put it on while you're driving home. We are interviewing Mike Kimball. It's at CES 56, and Mike Kimball will be fighting this Friday on the card. So that is happening tomorrow. And maybe, should we do a gaming stream tomorrow night, Jess? What do you think? I know how much you love this. What do you think?
Well, let's talk about that.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you think we should do a gaming stream on the second channel, not the MMA-Holes? Let us know in the chat. 4 more likes, peeps. Don't be stingy.
Sean Hart says JBH is active. JBH has Moss set a cumin after he shoots.
A cumin.
Yes, 1 time. Dave Fleur says, oh, JBH.
You can't stop the Siberian Express. Choo-choo, motherfuckers.
This is DB Cooper Muslim bag.
Clear the lines. The MMA-Holes want a DB Cooper phone call.
No, they don't.
Jessica G is clearly too much of a pussy to call in. She must be related to Cowboy. dbcoopercause.com. dbcoopercause.com. Open the lines. #Jessica ducking.
All right. I want to touch on one thing, and then we're gonna get out of here. YouTube, and if you haven't checked it out, actually, after when we wind this thing down in a couple of minutes, go to the community section. We posted a video. Hit me with the ones in the chat if you watch this video. Someone posted a video about what YouTube is doing, censoring channels. Okay, and like donations like that. We are facing an era of Google where it is very one-sided. There's not much you can do on YouTube anymore, and it sucks because I love this platform. I love the ability to reach such a large audience. On a Wednesday night, still have 100 people watching. When we do our fight reactions, it's insane. Thousands and thousands of people are watching and hanging out, talking about their common interest. And to see YouTube demonetizing channels or just shutting channels down, it's sad to see. So 2 things I need from you. Watch the video for yourself. Check it out and see how crazy it is. There's a lot of true stuff in there. And number 2, go to the MMAHoles.com. If you haven't checked it out yet, go to the MMAHoles.com. Make yourself an account over there. There's a wall where you can bullshit with the boys and girls. You're hanging with the boys.
Hanging with the boys.
That is where we pull our news from. And there is a wall over there. You could friend JBH, Mystic Moss. You just log right in like this. It's a beautiful website over here. A community for the holes. And you could just hang out after the stream. Just hang out over here. You could watch our shows on here. And look at this. You can see posts like this. CR7 is gay. Cristiano Ronaldo is in a gay relationship with a hunky... What? Is he really? Come on. A Moroccan kickboxer. Did you know that, Jesse?
I did not know that, boss.
So you can read stories like that over there. But anyway, go check out the MMA-Holes.com. It is wonderful.
Wonderful.
Jesse wants donuts. She might have to pee. I don't know.
I have to piss my pants.
She has to take a shit. All right, Jesse, say the magic words. We'll see you maybe tomorrow on the second channel. Definitely for Food Court Friday. And there you are.
Don't be an a-hole. Be an MMA-hole.
That's terrible.
Don't be an a-hole. Be an MMA-hole.
There we go. Pee away.